Wow. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bonus Content. I am Alex O'Neill. And right now, currently with me, Scott Guthrie is here.
Hello.
And Jurge Cruz Alvarez is here.
Hello, hello.
George, like, the hyphenate name, do you like, because I feel like there's mixed branding here.
Yeah, man, I was just thinking about this. Like, all the pause and the Alvarez, it's just a lot, you know? I should probably just do Cruz. At some point, I decided Alvarez, and I don't know why. For some reason, I thought a long name looked good on like on a document or like a business card. But then again, right from the jump, my name's fucked. It's like Jurge. How do you pronounce it? Like, I have to go to broadcasting. I have to accept my scholarship thing, and there's going to be shaking a bunch of hands, and I'm sure that's going to be fun. Yeah.
Hello, you're Jorge in reverse? No.
No.
Oh, it's just No, I feel for you. It's funny at Kind of Funny Live 3 because Logan and I just kept talking about how you weren't there and how we wish you were. To people. They're like, "Oh yeah, the George."
Nice.
Like, no, it's George. We're gonna put this to rest all together here. So now
Maybe I should on Twitter take off the Alvarez and put parentheses after my first name, George.
Yeah,
Cruz.
That's what I'm thinking, like a phonetic pronunciation.
Yeah,
George Cruz. But yeah, now there's like a good subset of people that when they meet you, they will know how to pronounce your name, at least. So
yeah, whenever I made a connection with anyone online, they always DM me, "How do you pronounce your name?"
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, I don't, but
No.
Yeah, you see, I don't either. I stick to a spelling that I think fits or is funny.
yeah,
I think
And you don't get
Nabishin might be the closest who might get it, maybe.
yeah. Well, I mean, like we call him Nabishin, and like
Oh, that's true. It's just Brian.
Yeah, he just has Brian Jackson on everything, and that's why in the intro of the show I say Brian Nabishin Jackson.
Right.
This is his nickname. We're all weird. It's fine.
It's him and Victoria Holden, who I just recognized as their online name.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. There are people out there that I think understand. So, how's life, George? What are you up to, man?
I'm doing pretty good. School's about to start soon, and it's a frantic race to getting Persona 5 done and some other stuff. So much so that I haven't taken a vacation this year at my work, and I'm lucky enough to have a service job that offers paid time off. And so I think I might take a paid time off week before school starts. Other than that, I'm pretty good.
That sounds nice. So,
Yeah.
Let me just play Persona for a week or something like that.
Man, I hope I get Persona done by the end of this month so I can play everything else. Cause man, I've been saving up pockets of free money like a squirrel for the winter. And I amassed a nice amount of PSN credits and Amazon credits and all this stuff from flipping things. And now I have too many video games, and I don't know what to do. So
yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I got this big old JRPG. I'm just teasing myself to sink my teeth into.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that one, as far as JRPGs go, that one's, if we're talking about the same one, and I think we are, that one's a bit shorter.
It's consumable,
than most. Yeah.
I just play like 29 hours of Overwatch.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this was a terrible idea.
But no, yeah, it's a Saturday. It's been pretty lazy. It's one of those Saturdays where I'm not doing anything and I don't feel guilty about it. And actually, the past weeks have been that way. I think ever since I got really deep into Persona and I made it my mission to finish it. I'm in a place where I'm not really working on anything other than that secret thing you know about, Alex. With
that's demanding. That's
yeah, it's that, and it's some other stuff. It's stuff that is nothing new where I have to. Well, that is new. Well, I don't know. It just doesn't. It hasn't been that much. Hasn't been that much time consuming. And the crazy thing is, it's like probably the best. You probably get this, Alex. We feel bad about not doing anything, and you're like, oh man, I should be doing this. And I'm not feeling that. And so that's nice. So I'm just kind of
Sounds
chilling.
Yeah, like because I mean, my thing is I have like the writing every day, so like I at the end of the day I can just be like, well, I did something, I
Yeah, right.
guess.
Yeah.
But uh, up until recently, that was like not as rewarding. But now I've got like a few things that I'm chipping away at that I'm actually pretty excited about. So, what about you, Scott? How's life, man?
Got done with the summer exam week.
Good. So, are you done with summer school, like the
Yep.
summer lesson?
Yep.
No. Okay. So, do you have like a month off now before fall, or do you have other summer lessons?
No, I have a month off before fall.
Okay, nice. How do you plan on spending this month, Scott? Is it just like video games, Black Desert Online? Are you gonna go full Horvath on here? Don't go full Horvath. Never go full Horvath.
No, I haven't really planned it out yet.
Okay, cool. There's infinite potential. We should hang out at some point in that time, Scott.
All right.
You should play Destiny in that time. Let me tell you about
Probably
Destiny
not.
too. No, Scott. Let me tell you about Destiny too.
I'm sure there'll be ample time to do so.
Well, I mean, Tony's not here. God knows
That's
he has,
true.
he,
That's
he isn't
true.
Yeah.
responding.
Well,
So.
one, next part of the show. Two,
Yeah.
you can talk to me about it all you want.
Okay.
I'll listen.
Okay.
Getting me to buy it is something completely different.
Yeah. It is coming to PC. So at this point, and Tony's gonna play it on PC. Like I get it. No one's gonna play on PS4 with me anymore. It's fine.
No one's gonna play.
Nope.
But I'll get through it. Don't laugh, Nabashin. Don't like show up and just start laughing at me. But yeah, that's something to think about. I'm just planting the seed here. Anything else, Scott? Get up to any shenanigans?
Not yet. Probably soon though.
Okay. Nabashin, are you here? Are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Feeling it? What's up, man?
Not much.
You had a nice week hanging out with the fam, it sounded like, so.
Parts of it were nice. It kind of blew up in the worst way.
Oh.
On my nephew's way back home.
What happened?
It wasn't something super terrible, but it was like more of like my nephew William. For lack of a better term, he's a bit of a smart ass. He talks back to adults. Me, my brother, and my sister, both of them are older than me. We don't really talk back to our parents at all. But like, it's just like my niece and my nephew, both Yasmin and William. Like they got that, I guess, from hanging with their with my brother and my former sister-in-law that were together when they divorced. They stayed with their mother a lot, so like I guess they got that from there. So like my dad took the initiative to like take him to Washington D.C. because that's the only way he could get a one-way flight to Atlanta, where his mother was going to pick him up to drive him back to Florida. So they did the drive there. My dad doesn't really walk all that great. Like he can walk, but it's just like he got the little hobble type of thing, so he doesn't really walk too long distances. So it was like kind of like certain situations, like the parking lot was way too far, and like he needed William to stay in one place. So it's like, William, you stay right here in front of the airport while I go park like almost like a couple of football stadiums away.
Yeah.
To park this car. And William was like, no, I'm not having that. And it's like he's talking back to him, and it's like it was just a whole bad situation because my dad's not used to that. People talking back to him, or at least children talking back to him.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like if I was there, like that whole situation would have been like not even had happened, because like I'm used to William. I know that he talks back, but like I can talk back at him and he'll understand it, and we have an understanding type of thing, because like it's the way I communicate with children basically. My dad's too set in his ways to change the way as far as talking to children. Like I said, I don't really talk down to children. I try to talk to them as my equal, so they respect me as far as like that. So like that's why William have a good like relationship as far as that. But like my dad's not that type of way. He's never really ever been that type of way. So like that was just a whole bad situation that happened. It pretty much was as soon as he got to the airport, because he was gonna just wait in the airport with him until his plane got there, but pretty much as soon as he got past security, he just fucking left him there. And then his plane got delayed, and so he was there for like maybe 4 hours there by himself, and then he got on the plane to Atlanta. And then as soon as he landed to Atlanta, like his mother couldn't come get him, so like she had a friend go get him. He stayed at a friend's house, and then he got home like probably like 2 days later. So it was a whole mess for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. No
one told me this was gonna happen. Like I would have took off work, but no one told me that was gonna happen. So
yeah.
It was one of those things.
Yeah, I feel you. It's not like it's complicated. It's like impressive though. Like I know firsthand experience that you were very good with kids though. So yeah, I feel you on like it could have been a lot less frustrating. But at least you got home safe and everything. Like
yeah, that's all that matters.
Exactly. Anything else you get up to this week? An option?
No, not really. Last 2 days I went to Mark and Katie's house, which I haven't seen them in like 2 months. And that was good times.
Okay, good. I was like, I was waiting in bated breath. Make sure you got over there at some point.
Yeah, I finally did. And then that was good times as always. Like the first time I got there, the toilet sort of exploded, so like they were getting that fixed as soon as I was getting in. I was like, oh, okay, that's an issue. But
I've been there. I'm pretty sure I told that story on the show. So
I believe you did, yeah. So like it got fixed pretty much as soon as I got there. So like that was avoiding that whole situation. And like the next day, like Katie invited me over to like not really hang with her cosplay group, but like she was like, oh, I'm having a bunch of people over, you should come over. I'm like, okay, sure. So I just pretty much hung out with her friends, like where she gets together to like her cosplay stuff going on. Cause like she's on the Dragon Con in like a few weeks, so trying to get that all set up. But yeah, it was good seeing them again. I handed Katie ukulele, and she's enjoying that very much so. Even so, so if you want from that aspect, Alex, like she's enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, because she knows what's up.
Yeah.
It's all about that Banjo-Kazooie magic.
Were you able to pick that up on the Prime Day Madness, Nabishin?
I sure did. That's the only reason I have it.
How much was it on
It was
Friday?
like $10.
$10?
Yeah.
I slept till 6 p.m. today too. So I mean, like, what am I? I'm a mess. I'm a disaster.
You missed the chance to pre-order N64 Classic, not N64, Super Nintendo Classic.
So I didn't miss that. Danny actually texted me the link as soon as he
saw
it.
Okay.
And I was still too late. Shout out to Danny Juarez, though. He had my back. He's like, we're both going to get this. I'm going to make sure it happens. I'm like, I don't deserve you, Danny.
I didn't have the funds for a Walmart pre-order. If it was an Amazon pre-order, I would have been on that, but not Walmart.
Yeah.
But yeah, that hung out with them. That was great. Talked to Mark a lot about just various stuff. Like he's getting tired of his job at Ferguson too. So like we might be trying to do this vendor thing together. So
hell yeah,
that would be interesting if that works out. Because we never actually had the same job at the same time ever. Like when we both worked at Busch Gardens, like I was working at Great Pompeii and he was working at Roman Rapids. So like we were at the same place.
Busch Gardens?
Oh yeah, that was like my second job.
Okay.
It was a dumb monkey job. Just press a button every 5 seconds. That's it. That's really all it was. And make sure people sit down. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Did you get to yell at any kids?
No, not me. No. No.
Okay.
Make sure their seat is secure and shit like that before they go on a roller coaster. Not roller coaster, but the ride. I haven't been in Busch Gardens in over 10 years.
Damn, I've never been to Busch Gardens, so
it's a good time. Well, last time I was there was a good time. I told you that story, right? Why I never went there.
I agree, but at the same time, last time I went there was also around 10 years ago. So
all I can think of is the King's Dominion story, where we dropped you off there.
Oh yeah, that's King's Dominion though. That's
yeah.
different.
I'm like, so that's what I'm saying. Theme park wise, I don't know the Busch Gardens story.
Oh, Busch Gardens story is not really much of anything. Like God, that was like I was probably whatever age I was, because it was over 10 years ago. It was pretty much I was there with my friends. It was during Hollowscreen. Like some douchebag was like with that was in like there's a certain area that you walk down and like that's where like some attendants like dress up and try to scare people from like the woods and stuff like that. And then like one guy was like being like really vicious to like one little kid about it. So like I pretty much like just sneaked up behind him and scared the fuck out of him. And then he got super upset by that. And he's like, "Hey, you come here, come here!" And then like I just kept walking. I was like, "Fuck it!" I just walked away. And he just yelled out, "Security!" And then like that's when me and my friend just started running, and we hid in between the crowds. And I just never been back since then.
That's the best.
Like not even really. Like I didn't get caught or anything. I just never even went back there.
Yeah, because you had to drop the mic and peace out. Like you can't go back. You already won Busch Gardens. Oh, that's fucking amazing. God, I wish I could have done something like that at some point. Maybe there's still time. I can go to like a Halloween Horror Nights in Universal, just scare the shit out of somebody working there. That's so funny. That is so fucking funny. I love that he just got so upset about it.
Yeah, he was legit upset.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Working. That's about it.
I just before the show started, I had to run an errand. So let's say my brother is in a situation where he can't leave the house. And so it's like now, like the roles have reversed. He's like, "Hey, can you go to the liquor store for me? Hey, can you go to the grocery store for me?" It's funny because I'm like, it's like 6:48. I'm like frantically looking for hot dog buns in Giant, like oh god, because we have the show starting. I get back at like 7:24. That's why we started a little bit late. But I got everything except for lighter fluid. So my I think it was either Derek or Ethan. One of my two roommates bought a grill. I don't know which of them did it, but now we have a grill.
Okay.
So like every night, it feels like every other night we've been like grilling, which is fun. It's like a bonding experience because like Ethan just like quit being a vegetarian out of nowhere.
What?
Did I not tell you that?
No.
He just stopped. Yeah, like him and his girlfriend broke up a month and a half ago or whatever.
Okay.
And then he's just like, I went to BJ's and I just ordered chicken wings and just sat there and ate 12 chicken wings. I'm like, what? So now, like, he's like easing himself into red meat. But like, it coincides because I told you guys, I think last week, that he's like getting to the gym, getting swole. He's like, I just got to get more protein. And I'm like, I don't know if you're scaring me or if I'm just timid in general, but so he's getting like all big and he's eating all this chicken, like grilled chicken. He's like getting all this protein. So that's weird. But now we're like grilling. So like the first big test of it was last Sunday, right after the day after we recorded the podcast. Game of Thrones back. So we had a friend come over. Derek and I were grilling. We made like some burgers and brats. And the brats were amazing. So tomorrow night sounds like for Game of Thrones again. We're getting our grill on. Put some Gruyere.
Brats and other sausage-like foods are extremely good, but I just feel so guilty about eating them because they're so fatty, and I hate it. When I was a little kid, I used to eat all the sausage all the time.
Here's what you do to make yourself feel better about it, George.
Okay.
You grill the hot dog bun, right? So you got a nice toasty hot dog bun, and then you just put raw onions in the hot dog bun, and then you just also eat the brat still because it's
okay. Well, like, all right. Well, okay. Well, I mean, I'll try it. We'll see. It doesn't seem, but
seems
life
like
hack.
Makes sense. Yeah, life hack. But yeah, it's been a lot of grilling this week, and today was like my first Saturday off. I think ever. Like I don't know if there's ever been a Saturday in memory where I didn't work like 9:30 to 5:30. Like I always work morning to night or morning to midday, and then I come home and like go right into the podcast. So today I just like slept. Like I said, I slept like way too late, like till 5:50 or something. But, I stayed up till 6 a.m. last night playing Overwatch. We make a lot of mistakes in our lives. It might have been like 5 a.m. I don't know. Time all bleeds together when the sun goes down. Yeah, I mean, I just been enjoying my days off this week. That's all. I promise. Shout out to Logan Wilkinson hanging out in the chat right now. There's some other people watching, but he's the only one talking. And he said he's here to rep his boy George on the show.
Aw, thank you, Logan.
See, that's love right there. I did tease out the thing you guys are working on last week. None of you listened to the podcast though, so I figured like, oh, they're not gonna know.
Yeah, I sometimes last episode I listened to I think was the predictions one.
Yeah,
I think that's the last episode.
That was a good one.
That was a great episode.
This is a certified banger, if I do say so. Yeah, I teased out kind of what you guys are working on, but is there
it's
is there a
coming
timetable for
together. We are aiming for the end of the month. We are at a point right now where the necessary pieces are together, and we just gotta let you know and get it out. But yeah,
Are you gonna put out that the one that you sent me?
no, definitely. I don't think that was. I don't know what that sounded like, but my recording situation for that episode of the thing, it was not optimal.
Was precarious. Let's say.
Yeah, Linux. You can hack the planet, but you can't run two things at the same time, or else it just fucking dies.
Yeah.
Fucking penguin.
It was good though. I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. Hopefully, I'll be cool enough to come on that as well at some point. But how about we get Tony's not here. So before we actually start recording and start the real show, we'll do the mandatory let's embarrass you by calling you on the bonus content. No, I didn't want to. Well, I guess I'm FaceTiming Tony. We're going to see if he answers. Because, I don't know. Be nice to just get like a little bit of warning. Just be like, yeah, I can't be on the show tonight. Instead of just like, he's probably asleep. That's my guess. Him and Griffin have been FaceTime calling me at 2 o'clock in the morning consistently every night this week to tell me to get Destiny and play with them. And I was like, well, one, I'm still waiting. He is unavailable. I'm still waiting for my beta code, god damn it. And then I got it like last night, so
pretty much when the free one went out.
Yeah, I got it like just before the free one went out.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't play it until it was open to everyone. But Amazon just took a little extra long to send me the code. It's not like anything was within my power. But I still had to sit through a 14-minute phone call of Tony and Griffin just telling me over and over again that they were disappointed in me. So you win some, you lose some. Are you guys ready to start recording?
What you been watching lately? I'm just curious.
Oh, I totally forgot to mention this last week. When I was in Austin, I watched all of the Castlevania Netflix show.
How's that?
It is fan-fucking-tastic. I am really blown away by it.
It's got Sifa in it, doesn't it?
Sifa? I don't know who that is.
Castlevania 3. She's like the lady who's got
Yes.
okay.
She is in it. It is based on Castlevania 3, apparently, which I've never played.
Which is enough to pique my interest. That's what they chose to launch.
It's very cool. Like it's Game of Thrones like, I like. It's very violent. It's very brutal. It's 4 episodes. It's very short. I wish it was longer. I love it because Trevor Belmont is the main character. The first episode, he's only in like the last 5 seconds of it. Because the entire first episode is just setting up why Dracula is the villain. And he has like this really great kind of like tragic story. And just like the way it's paced, the way it works out, the way it like jumps around in time, and the way it sets him up as like a character, like a person, more than just like, well, Dracula's bad, we gotta go kill him, is fantastic.
So was it just 4 episodes, or did they start off with 4 episodes?
It's just 4 episodes
Okay.
in season 1, and they've already renewed it for season 2, which I believe will be 8 episodes.
I think 4 to 8 is a nice ratio because I feel like like a 12 episode series wouldn't have got the attention of the general people who would not see something that is anime adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of folks who wouldn't, I feel like, wouldn't watch it, talked about it. I was listening to Split Screen and like Jason Schreier and Kirk Hamilton were talking about it, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't care about anime, but 4 episodes is like pretty minimal commitment."
Yeah,
and I haven't watched it yet. Yeah, but
it's
I'm
like
excited
total
too.
like a 2 hours ish, like just under 2 hours. It's like a movie, pretty much. And they flow really well. It feels like the story of this feels like a prologue to the main story. I'll say, like, it feels like it's like introducing the characters. It feels like it's all exposition, which is fine though, because like there's some gears at some point. There's some monsters. Just like some of the last action scene is incredible. Like it was legitimately amazing. And like characters show up that I was like not expecting, and yeah, it's cool. Like as someone who doesn't know that much about Castlevania, like I've played Super Castlevania 4 and Symphony of the Night and a few of the like the DS GBA ones, which are kind of like I feel like they're pretty much separate. But,
I'm shocked it's as well received as it has been, and I'm happy as well. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, it's incredibly well animated too. Like the voice acting's stellar. Yeah, I was really impressed. I can't believe I forgot to mention it last week. That was like the thing. I was like, I've been watching something. But yeah, I just sat through and when I was in my hotel room in Austin, I just watched all of it. So because it came out that Friday I was there. So that was like a thing that I had forgotten to mention. And there's not a new My Hero Academia episode for me until the 27th. And I'm upset about it. Or the 29th. It's next Saturday. But that's it. I only wanted to start the show because we only have how long you got, George?
Like an hour and a half.
Okay.
I got a pretty good chunk.
Okay.
If we try, we can finish it before you ask to leave.
Yeah, it's true. If we really try, that's not
I mean, news is light, but I'd mention the games on the docket. Specifically, one big is going to take a nice chunk of time.
Yeah. We gotta talk about it.
You got to talk about it.
Gotta talk about the Bandicoot, man. I just.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Hey, we could skip
Sonic
that.
ass. Okay.
I actually have a lot to say about Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, apparently, according to Twitter, you do.
I have a lot to say. Let me see. Anything else? Anybody else want to throw out some things they've been watching?
Just some quick things. Watch some. I went on binge and just watched How It Should Have Ended on YouTube. I've been watching like a whole bunch of those this again because I really like enjoyed that. It's just really funny for me. Yeah, like if you just like want like a good like I think those are like the essentials of what like good internet videos are. Not like reaction videos or something like that. Just something that's like creative. Put your own like opinions into it and like make it funny at the same time. Like I think that's like one of the best channels on YouTube right now.
I also appreciate how they aren't like a content churning sort of channel. Like they take their time with their stuff. So it's kind of a negative because I kind of I forget to check in on them because it's been a while. But I enjoy how
those are the channels you're supposed to subscribe to.
Yeah, get the notification.
You're not supposed to subscribe to daily channels. No, that.
Well, I mean, they want those sub numbers.
Yeah.
They want.
Well, it's mostly because I just forget about it because I don't know the last one I saw. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's been really good, and I watched Comic Book Girls 19's review of Spider-Man: Homecoming and Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi one. Like she did a review video on both of them at the same time, and it's been really good. I thought that was like choice as well.
Spider-Man is so good. I'm still thinking about that fucking movie, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking good, man.
It's so good. Sorry, I just
also
like.
Yeah, I know. Also some good trailers from Comic-Con coming out. Rocko's Modern Life, Hey Arnold, even Justice League looked really good. So
I haven't watched the Justice League one yet.
How do we feel about that poster, man?
I don't know. I feel very good about that poster.
That typography was fucking whack.
I think it's alright.
I like the imagery of it. Like it took a while. It's just like weirdly lit.
It's shot like that classic picture.
Yeah, that picture. That's what like, and it's like maybe it's just because like I think the Flash suit looks weird. And I I get it. That's me.
But also, I think it's the best piece of promotional material that's come out of it. So
yeah, like I think as like a good Justice League poster, like I think like this sells it. Like the typography is weird.
Also, one quick shout out to our man Logan Wilkinson in the chat. He explained to me this was like probably a month or so ago. Like when me and Roger were talking to him, and we were talking about Batman v Superman, and like he gave his opinion like why he thinks that's a good movie, and he puts it in he gave his perspective, and he gave us like like a gauge. Like he said, oh, he's like this is go around like X-Men 1, and I was like, and that's when like it fucking like clicked for me. I'm like, yes, that makes sense. That makes sense of where that movie sticks to. It's like, because like when you say it's a good movie, like you automatically think like, oh, he must think it's the greatest movie ever. Like, no, he just thinks, it's getting too much shit to it, and like I don't agree with that, but like I understand, and like that makes me a little bit more excited for Justice League than I ever been before. So other than that, yes, that's it. Let's go.
Yeah, it turns out it's hard to keep nuanced when most of our friendships are through Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you're here now, George.
Yeah, I was talking with Logan as well about that as well, and yeah, it was a separate conversation, but we were talking about. Turns out, in our group of people we run in, Batman vs Superman is a topic of conversation that comes about quite often.
Unfortunately, I get it.
That piss jar, remember that? That was pretty good.
The fucking jar of piss, man. What's it like? What's the jar actually say? It says like grandma's something.
Yeah, grandma's something. I don't remember, man. I haven't seen it since it came out.
Yeah. How about we just start the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Let's because we're past 30 minutes now, so let's hit the. I'm excited to talk about video games this week. So, y'all got Audacity ready?
All right.
Yeah, apparently I've been test recording for 30 minutes. What? I never hit that button. What happened?
Hear the bonus content where it's just Scott's recording from bonus content.
Hell, I can send it to you. Do you want me to send it to you?
No.
I don't think I said anything.
You just said like 2 things, so.
Yep.
I think we'll be all right. I get I see what you're saying in the chat, and I was saying like there's fun action in Batman v Superman. The action scenes in Batman v Superman are really good.
That last one, I really like the last scene in that movie. Personally, the big climactic fight.
I like the fight between Batman and Superman more. I thought it was tense.
I did like it. That's just me though. My opinion.
Okay. I don't think I liked the last monster fight. Except when Wonder Woman showed up.
Oh, is that a spoiler? Is that a spoiler, Alex?
Yeah, it was in the trailer.
Is it a spoiler that Superman's going to be in Justice League when you put him in promotional? Never mind.
Yeah, right? I get it. Listen,
it is weird. I don't know how you guys felt about Wonder Woman's theme song before when that movie came out. But back then it seemed weird to me. It seemed, I don't know, because it's so because it just hits you like really fast. But after watching Wonder Woman, you're like, oh, fuck, here we go. Especially that scene when she, like, that big action scene in the middle of the movie where she just fucking wrecks house and that song is just beating you over the head. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that action scene in the middle of Wonder Woman is fucking so good. Wonder Woman is good. I would even call Wonder Woman great. I would.
I would agree with that.
The ending's not that great, but everything else is good.
I like the ending. I'm into it. You know, man.
You could have done something so much smarter than that. You can't do something like Doctor Strange.
All right, here
like a big monster fight.
Into it.
Let's get into the show.
I'm into monster fights, though. You know.
Not when this. Never mind. Let's go. You gotta go.
Are you ready, George?
Yeah, I got finger on the trigger.
Okay, on 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All I'm saying is at least they didn't fuck up Wonder Woman.
Yeah, like I'm saying, that movie is great. It's fucking great.
All right, you should introduce us for the show.
Yeah, we should do the podcast.
There's some stuff about Wonder Woman I like more than Spider-Man.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
that'd be an interesting conversation.
It's the whole heroism aspect of it.
They had the chance to do a fucking wild ending with that Wonder Woman movie. That would have been really quite a turn that I probably would have enjoyed.
Maybe we should do our Wonder Woman spoiler cast.
Maybe, I don't know.
Wonder Woman Spider-Man Homecoming spoiler cast.
Like that scene in her in No Man's Land when she gets out the sand. Like that's probably like one of the best parts.
I got like choked up during that scene.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like
it's real good.
If you think about that scene and you think about like any scene from Spider-Man: Homecoming, like I think that scene is better. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's moments.
Sure.
Oh yeah, totally, yeah.
No, I'm with you. It's like it's like the moment where she's like, I have to do something. It's just like, oh.
And it's choreographed so well, and the shots you can see it so clearly. How much she's just a force of nature. Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. Yeah. Get more female directors for superhero movies. That's all I'm saying. Let's get started. Did I miss any news, Nabishin? I forgot to ask.
I'll add it in. Just start the show.
Okay. It is Saturday, July 22nd, 2017, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I am Alex O'Neill, your host of this podcast journey that we are about to embark on. With me this week is Scott Guthier.
Hello.
And Brian Nabishin Jackson.
Douchebag.
Joining us this week also Jurge Cruz Alvarez.
Good video games to you. Thank you for having me on this wonderful pod.
Welcome, George. Welcome back.
Hello.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, last time was January, I think. We were talking about Kingdom Hearts and how it's apparently good.
Yeah, it is. It is, George. It is. George, where are you at? Tell me. I'm going to ask this to every single guest we have on between now and 2018. Tell me, does Kingdom Hearts 3 come out in 2018?
No. I think early 2019, perhaps.
But you believe that it'll come out. You're not a Jarrett Green that doesn't.
Oh no, I think that boat sailed. I think it is a real ass video. They showed 9 minutes of gameplay and a weird text transition on top of it of a full sentence of believe in your dreams, believe in the you that believes in the me that believes in the One Piece or something, whatever. Yeah, that game is real. Yeah, that game is real. And I think we will get it in the immediate future. Do I personally care? I don't, and I am curious, but I think my love and affection that I held, that was very bright and very innocent and young, has been like it's dead. And so, but I am still curious.
All right, I'll take that. Welcome to the podcast, everybody who's listening out there, and George, I suppose, because he is our special guest. We have a great show lined up for you all. We're going to talk about some video games. I promise, as far as I know, that little thing that we just did there was the only major piece of Kingdom Hearts content that we have to cover this week. So, all right, in my defense, last week we talked about Kingdom Hearts for about 33 minutes, and I labeled out the timestamps in the breakdown for the show, so if people wanted to skip it, they could. To the exact minute that we finished. So,
all right. So now I'm going to embed into this YouTube a bunch of top 10 YouTube poops of Kingdom Hearts 2. So please enjoy that, everyone.
Just like the video version just goes to shit immediately.
Here's a nice video of Sora singing "America Fuck Yeah." So please enjoy that. It's really good.
That I would watch. I would for sure watch that. But George is here for some of the time that we've got here. We got some news to talk about. Most importantly, we got some video games to talk about. I think there's some video games worth talking about. Some new games coming out, some betas happening. And George, you've been playing some good stuff. I'm looking at your list now. I'm getting excited about one particular game. Yeah, so we're gonna have a good show. We might have a voicemail from one Silver PR as well. So it's that's how you know. It might be this episode. I'm not confident in saying, but it might be a certified banger. Which is, it's like there's a rating tool for Irrational Passions podcast when you're listening at home. It's either certified banger or not. So feel free to rate along at home. Let's get started with some housekeeping. Right now, there's still not been anything new in particular on the site. But I teased it last week, and George, you're here. Maybe you can tease it out a little bit yourself. There's a project coming.
There is a thing coming with a group of people who are very close to the site, and you maybe once a month at least here on the site. Mm-hmm. There is something happening that will be coming hopefully by the end of the month. and I'm excited about it. Especially the more we have gone in it and really torn it apart and thought about it, I am in a place where I'm very excited to actually get going with it.
Yeah, I'm very excited, just going off what I've heard and everything, and what you guys have sent me. So, big ups to you guys. You are treating it as a big undertaking, and I think that is good. That is good for the undertaking that it actually is. So, with that in mind, there's also one thing that Logan has still sent me that I still haven't edited, and I feel really terrible about it. But I will hopefully take a look at that at some point this weekend. Just like now, my Sunday nights are full because I've got to watch Game of Thrones for the next few weeks, and that's very important to me. Game of Thrones started, guys. Y'all watch that premiere? I'm sure y'all big on the Game of Thrones.
Nope.
Some stuff happened. People went to places and things happened. Because I guess we got to be sensitive about Game of Thrones spoilers again. I know, hot topic on this very podcast. Talk about it all the time. But, all right, it's fine. No one wants to play with me in my Game of Thrones room. That's it for housekeeping. Outside of, I'm working on a few things as well. And hopefully there will be some evolution of video content happening in September. Is what I'm aiming at right now. Beginning of September, which would be like 1 year since Alex Talk Season 3 started. So we'll see. I really need to get into it. Let's talk about video games. That's what we do on this podcast. I want to talk about video games. George, you were here. I want to talk about your video games. We can leave the Destiny 2 conversation maybe for a little bit later.
Okay. I was going to pop it off.
So we'll loop back around to Destiny 2.
Okay, that's fine.
But let's talk about what else you've been playing.
Yeah, so let's really quickly go through my weird things. So as I mentioned before the show started, I'm in a place where I have had a lot of money that is not... It's like fake money. It's like Monopoly money. It's like I got a free money over here, I got a free money over here, and I've been saving them up like a squirrel terrified of the cold, cold wind and snow. And I have cashed in, and I have too many video games to play. But very quickly, some of the stuff that's not really worth talking about deeply. Now that I have a new computer, I downloaded an emulator, and I downloaded the entirety of a bunch of obscure consoles. So if you want to talk about Girls Garden, I can talk about Girls Garden.
Girls Garden spelled Gurlz, I assume?
Not Girls Garden, like Girls Garden. It's like the first game made by Yuji Naka, the creator of Sonic. It's for the SG-1000. Anyways, we're not talking about that.
I've not even heard of
But one of those games that I've been playing, and I know Alex, you're a big fan of it, was Tales of Berseria.
Yes.
But yeah, I've been playing Tales of Berseria. I am very early days on it, but
have you
what I
gotten
played
through, like, the prologue?
No.
Okay.
But even what I've played so far, and my knowledge of the Tales series isn't incredibly vast. I have dabbled with like 3 of the titles. Again, not very far. Exilia is probably the one I have the most knowledge of because that's the one I got the farthest in.
Okay.
But Alex, and I guess Nabish and Scott, if you guys know, I assume Alex talks about it, or you guys have played it. But the thing that's striking me about Tales of Berseria is that the combat system in this one seems a lot more intricate and even more fighting game-like than it was before, which was always a thing. But it seems a lot more quicker, a lot more... You can customize it a lot more, at least from the first 30 minutes I've seen. And that has me really excited, and that's really the main reason I'm playing more of it, because the story isn't really grabbing me. I think the characters are interesting, but
so the combat in Berseria specifically is one of the things I love about it the most. It's probably one of my favorite combat systems in that franchise. It's very different than any of the other games in the series, right? The whole like mapping and attack to each face button, totally new.
Specifically what I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally new for that game. And like that evolves a lot as the game goes on. Essentially, like Velvet, and like I don't want to necessarily spoil anything, but she gets a different ability that lets her cancel out of an attack, and that lets her like start a combo fresh, and like the heart, like it's really impossible to explain like the whole crystals thing, where you have like 3 crystals, so you can attack 3 times, and then you'll accrue more if you exploit weaknesses and stuff like that. And I don't know how much of that you've seen.
No,
Like,
none
the
of it.
opening. So like you can then sacrifice one of your moves. Like let's say you have 4 crystals total, right? That means you can attack 4 times in any single string of a combo. You can sacrifice the 4 crystal, so now like your permanent maximum is 3 until you can gain that back to cancel and then restart the combo. So it is definitely like fighting game, like it's more like action, like third person or third character action, like kind of like Devil May Cry-ish when things get really hectic later on. It's very, very cool, and if you like it now, like there will definitely be a turning point where you're like, man, this is rad.
Yeah, and I'm sure, I don't know how much you've talked about it because I guess I don't spoilers. I guess I don't listen to much of the podcast, but I really want to nail it on the like really like people who aren't familiar with Tales, because I think it's genuinely fascinating to see it, because as you mentioned, you are sort of inputting where you're sort of creating strings of combos and then mapping them so they're easier to. I guess it's kind of hard to explain, but
Yeah.
its approach to combat is really dynamic and exciting, and it doesn't feel I don't know, Exilia, I'd never wanted to do the work to really get into that combat, but this seems so intricate and fun, and it creates opportunities for really, really dynamic combat that I think it's worth at least checking out, even if folks are not pretty interested in Tales of, because the Tales of JRPG series has its bangers. I know you're a big fan of Vesperia, Alex, but it's very anime. Even from what I've played so far, it is extremely anime. But I've heard that this one specifically, because you're sort of playing as an antagonist, kind of. Certainly not the sort of hero who is extremely optimistic and is going to go change the world. And then he meets a bunch of weird party members who are like, you're so crazy, Yusuke, or whatever.
Yeah, it's a little different than that. No, it's like more, Velvet, like, because again, like you haven't seen the heel turn yet, right? So
no, I haven't yet. I know it's coming.
Yeah, it's like, they set it up. You can watch that opening, that anime ass opening.
It's so anime. It's like, oh, we're such a happy family here. Nothing is going to go wrong. Oh.
Yeah, right. Super bubbly too. It's great.
Yeah.
And like the cool thing is you kind of you really do see where like everybody is coming from in that story, and like the moment where like Velvet is really being consumed by that kind of hatred is transformative. Like it's very drawn out because the game's like 70 hours long. It took me 70 hours to beat it. You can probably beat it.
People keep telling me it's 20 hours on easy mode, and I don't believe them. But
like I would say, like realistically, 40 hours you could probably blow through that game. But like I did all the side quests. I took my time with it, and I did a lot of grinding just because I liked doing the fighting. So like. It's drawn out, right? You don't get to see those transformations in a, let's say, like metered pace. Like it seems a bit longer, but there are a lot of things that do happen and a lot of characters you do meet. There's definitely some stuff that's gonna be like, well, this is fucking anime right here. But there's also like they use it to really good effect in ways that I think is cool and that I haven't seen in that franchise. Like this is the first Tales game with a new director, and like the previous director has kind of gone off to work on other stuff. So like this guy might be directing Tales games going forward, and I'm really excited to see what he's doing, and I can maybe find the name of him. But yeah,
Tabata, is it? No, that can't be right. I think
that would be Final Fantasy 15.
Right.
But
yeah, I'm very early days on it, but I will say that it seems like Tales is making some moves. Like I genuinely do think this combat system, and if it does continue to build upon itself, it's really fascinating.
Yeah.
Just from now. But yeah, that's Tales per se. I don't really have much to say about that because I'm really early.
Tanaka.
Okay. Yeah, and I hope I have time because I just have so much. I yeah. But anyways,
It's worth seeing through if you can get through kind of like the intro into when you start seeing other characters, and you can play as other characters too, and they all have interesting hooks and cancels to them as well. So.
right, I assume that carries over from the other Tales games. The Tales games you could pretty switch around. It's kind of, even it was already hectic, but now it seems hectic in a way like I want to take the extra step to like get to know this system in a way that I didn't feel so much in Exilia. I don't know. The other games sort of remind, if we're going to compare it to fighting games, the other games kind of reminded me of Soul Calibur, which Soul Calibur, not dissing Soul Calibur, but Soul Calibur is a much more button mashing game than say something like a Tekken. I guess Tekken is button mashy, but Tekken feels so good that I want to take the other step to get to know what's going on in that. So I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Anyways,
yeah.
Another thing I've been playing, real quick. This isn't going to be quick, and I know this podcast in particular has really discussed this game to probably its wit's end, and there's a whole spoiler cast on it. But I have been deep in the Persona 5. Well, boy, let me tell you, I have. My feelings on that game have changed very drastically from the moment I started to 60 hours in. But
where are you at? What day are you on?
We are in the beginning of September. Summer break is about to end because summer break is all of August, correct?
Yes. It's like half of, or like the end of July as well, I think. So
yeah. So yes, I really, really like the new. Is it weird? I can say names of characters, right? They're on the box. They're on the material
yes.
of the game.
Yes.
So yes. I started off really negative Persona 5 for various reasons, but one of them was that I think Anne and Ryuji are not great characters. Okay. I think Ryuji is sort of a boring, less homophobic Yusuke from Persona 4.
Okay.
And I think Anne is an incredibly watered down and less interesting Rise. But the introduction of characters like Yusuke and the point I am right now, Futaba, and the relationship dynamic between Futaba and Sujiro, which is your caretaker in Persona 5, has been really, really interesting. And specifically, Sujiro and Futaba. And Futaba is this sort of like hacker genius sort of character, very eccentric, very introverted character. And seeing the relationship that Sujiro has as a guardian and to Futaba and her sort of the way she deals about life has been really, really good. So much so that I might want to write about it, and I don't know how much I can. But there's stuff that they do with that character relationship that is very well written, and they were able to nail how much they care about each other, but also Sujiro doesn't really understand what Futaba's going through, but he has sympathies towards her, and he's never looking down on her and how she has trouble talking to people, and she likes staying indoors for the most part, and that stuff's really good. It's really good. And I think Yusuke, I like his sort of whole eccentric art guy.
I fucking love Yusuke.
Yusuke is my favorite character in that game.
God, he's so great.
So yeah, I think that's where I'm at in the game, where like I felt I wasn't really interested in the characters of Persona 5, and there's some other stuff that honestly I don't want to get into because it's just so much. It would be here forever. But I'm in a place where I'm way more positive in Persona, and I'm enjoying my time with it a lot more, which before I found it to be pretty blah. And Makoto's also a good character, but I'm not really into like really, really looking into her layers as a character, and they're not really grabbing me as much as Yusuke and Futaba. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Persona 5.
Okay.
I'm liking a lot more.
Yeah, I'm curious like where you end up with it. How did you overall feel about Persona 4? Is that something you adore or you like? Or
Persona 4 is my favorite video game of all time.
All right.
And like Persona 4, Persona 4 is a wonderful game mostly because we all play so many games and we all play them in different types of life, like different like moments and like what are you going through. And Persona 4, I found talking to people has this weird habit of finding people in a place when they are extremely weak or lonely. And Persona 4 sort of means something special to a lot of people because of that. And I don't know if I'm completely looking into it, but I found Persona 4 in a weird place. And like Mitch Dyer had this, it was on an episode podcast Unlock where he also talked about like he moved and like all this stuff, and he was lonely and he wasn't really close to his friends. And so yes, Persona 4 is my favorite video game of all time. It means a lot to me, and I haven't played 3. And to be completely honest, there's a lot of parts in the beginning of Persona 5 where I found it so uninteresting that I was like, I should just go play Persona 3 because I've only played the first hour of Persona 3, but all that was way more interesting than the opening of Persona 5. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Persona's series.
Okay, that's super interesting. I think like 5 grabbed me pretty quickly because it felt so different. But you know, like I'll say like I'm sure you haven't listened to the spoiler cast yet, but
No, not yet, no.
And I said this last week, like I think we were pretty fair to both what we love and adore about that game, but also like the criticisms that have been launched against it in that spoiler cast. So I'm curious to see where you end up with it by the end of it, because it does like there are definitely like peaks and valleys, like for sure. But like I think it is transformative to finish that game.
I've heard the ending is fantastic for Persona 5.
I like it quite a bit. Obviously, I don't want to say too much, but like I'm
No, yeah,
curious
totally.
how you feel about the game after you've beaten it, and then like how you feel like we tackled that in the spoiler cast.
Persona 5 is such a long game that I'm 60 hours in, and you forget how much has happened in that game. And that's because the Persona games, content-wise, are so packed of stories and dialogue and anecdotes of characters that it's hard to forget. And it's so far, like right now I'm enjoying it. Like I'm fully on enjoying the ride. Not as much as Persona 4, where every minute of Persona 4 I love. Every grinding session, like love that game. But I forgot what I disliked about it. And I was very passionate. Like, these are the things I don't like about Persona 5. And now that I'm enjoying it, I'm kind of forgot. And I'm really mad that I didn't write them down somewhere. There's one specific big thing that I still like that I might write about that I think they completely fumbled. But yeah, and really quick to move out of Persona 5, the biggest thing that's also managed to change my feelings of Persona 5 is that for some reason, and I don't know why, I was like fast traveling everywhere in Persona 5. I wasn't hanging around the spaces. I wasn't walking around Shibuya or anything. I just give me to my destination. And that's it. And I don't know how I got that, because Persona 4, I loved walking around. I loved hearing the music. And when I tried to play Persona 3 Portable, the reason I bounced off of it is because Portable doesn't have the walking around because it's a PSP game.
Yep.
You can only choose where you want to go. And that's why I bounced off of it. I don't know what got into me in the 5, where I just decided to quick fast travel. But now that I'm taking the time to walk to a destination and just hearing the NPCs chatter about whatever the hell, and having that wonderful music, and maybe it's raining outside, and having that all together, it makes the game feel more like makes Persona 5 feel more like a physical thing. Where before I was kind of playing it like I don't know, I just really wasn't in it as I am now.
Yeah.
So that's the last thing I'll say, Persona 5.
Yeah, like I'll say, because we didn't even mention that in the spoiler cast, like the walking around aspect of 5 is the most important, I think, because of like the chatter that you pick up from characters. Just like how much because like it is so based on like things that are happening in pop culture and the world, like the media of the world that you're in. So hearing people walking around mumbling and talking about that is a big part of that experience, I think. So
Yeah. So one more that I'll quick, and then there we have some games that I think we all have some touchstones and that are currently playing. So for some reason I decided to start playing Silent Hill. I've been reading some Junji Ito. Are you all familiar with Junji Ito?
No.
Nope.
So Junji Ito is this horror manga artist, and he is fantastic. And I was like, I want some more Japanese horror, and I decided to play Silent Hill because I bought it at some point on a flash sale. And very quickly, that game is probably more fascinating from a perspective of now than it came out, because now it sort of feels like this weird piece of outsider indie art. Like, it just feels like an indie game now. It's so small, and it's scary and stuff, but it doesn't... it doesn't have the sort of bombastic nature or Hollywood blockbuster action movie of the Resident Evil games, which whatever Resident Evil you fall on, the Resident Evil games have always had this sort of, I don't know, this panache to it of it being like sort of a movie. Like even the first Resident Evil feels like a hokey horror movie. Resident Evil 2, it starts off with a truck setting off on fire. And Silent Hill starts off with you just sort of wandering around this gray space with weird creatures that aren't even identifiable. One, because it's a PS1 game. And two, because they're like things with legs and that are gray and they're designed in a way that isn't so haunted house like. They're just like weird nightmare things, like actual nightmare things, like nightmare stuff that you won't remember the next day. Like it's like I was walking around and there was like this weird blob thing and it wasn't really doing it, it was just twitching in the corner. And yeah, playing Silent Hill now and only like an hour in, it's really fascinating and I'm really enjoying it. But it also requires a sort of patience that I don't know if I'm ready to deal with while I'm juggling Persona and Tales and these heavy JRPGs. And I don't remember what this item did. Like it's been like hours and days. I don't remember what this left lion key does anymore.
Yeah, that's cool. Like it's weird to think of, like, because I've never played a Silent Hill game.
Oh, hold on. Now, did you forget?
Yeah.
Or did you never know in the first place?
That's the question. Look deep inside yourself, George. What does this lion key mean to me?
Yeah, I mean, there are moments in Silent Hill, like Resident Evil, where you're all like, fuck you, there's no way I could have combined a shoestring with this, like, harmonica to get this key out of a sewer drain or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the obtuseness of it. It reminds me of, like, the old point-and-click adventure games. So...
And in Silent Hill, it's even more obtuse, and I don't know. I could probably describe it better. What separates Silent Hill 1? I think it's the PS1 nature of it. How it looks. It looks like a weird itch.io thing because it's so. The draw distance is terrible, and the textures are poor, but it has a sort of neat quality to it now. I don't know, but. Yeah, I think Silent Hill holds up, is what I'm saying. Cool. Very well.
I like it.
So, yeah, the other stuff I've been playing. Let's talk about Crash Bandicoot.
Let's talk about Crash Bandicoot.
He's got jorts.
He has jorts, yeah. They're more like capris, honestly.
Yeah. He seems like Crash seems like the sort of person, if you saw him hanging out like in high school, you wouldn't. He seems like a crazy guy, you know. But then you get to know him, and he's kind of like he's got his quirks, you know. But he's just your normal dude. Maybe not the smartest.
Love to him. That's the real question.
No, I don't know about that. But
he's so beautiful, though.
A lot of that fur is looks very soft. It looks 4K.
Very soft. Nobishin's playing this game in 4K. I love that so much, and I'm sorry that I've brought that to this show. Crash is pretty good. How do you feel about it? Which Crash are you playing? Are you playing all the Crashes? Just playing the one Crash?
Like I am making the mistake, like a lot of people are, of trying to find the will to get through the first game. I know you're on Twitter, Alex, being like, this fucking game, baby, you know what I'm talking about? More like Crash, baby, cool fucking plebes over here.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Fur, as in like animal fur. And then fur.
Oh, I get it now.
I fucking love you, Scott.
That's very clever.
So here's the deal. I beat Crash 1 already. I beat it. I didn't like go through and try and get all the collectibles and all that, because that doesn't sound like any fun, personally. But like, two things. One, it was not as hard as I think everyone was making it out to be.
That fucking level up in the mountains or whatever the hell with the
bridge one, yeah.
Are you kidding me with that level?
That one is the hardest level for sure.
That's the one where I was just like, you are out of your. This feels like a crappy Mario Maker level. Like, oh, jump on the one platform and the other platform is ice, and this fucking obstacle is gonna come punch you in the face.
There are a lot of checkpoints in that level, though.
Yeah, that's sure.
Um,
And after a while, it becomes muscle memory. Just jump, 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 and yeah.
yeah. So like I didn't think it was as hard as everyone was making it out to be. I'm not saying that to be patronizing. I'm just saying that like I beat it. I thought there would be a point where I would be like, I don't want to do this anymore, and just walked away from it. It's definitely like, yeah,
I've been playing Tomba.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've like, it is weird because
Is Tomba hard?
Tomba is like the first one is pretty hard. It's definitely like there's a lot of like cheap deaths, I would say, because there's a lot, just like in Crash, like there's a lot of like you fall and you're dead. You're just dead now. You're just dead. That's it. You died. But like it is really weird, because like I've just been playing PS1 games, so like
Hell yeah, that's the life though.
Going right into Crash Bandicoot, it like looks amazing, and I'm like, this just feels like another one of these. And it like there is definitely something to that. Like I was just in it, like I was in PS1 mode, and so I just like it's like I understood the secret, quiet PS1 rules of Crash Bandicoot in the background. But yeah, like I don't know, like the thing I don't like about Crash. So the other real quick point is that I liked Crash Bandicoot 1 a lot more than I thought I would. I don't think I've ever actually beaten that game. I might have at some point when I was younger, but I beat it, and I liked it a lot. Like I genuinely really like that game now. The thing I like the least about it, and maybe you can corroborate with your experience, George, is just like most of the challenges of that game are finish this level without dying, and like that's like it. Or like the reason I didn't want to go through and get all the collectibles of like breaking all the boxes in each level is like I go through the level pretty meticulously, and it's like I don't know where I would have missed this, like these 35 boxes that I didn't find, and it's like that seems too obtuse. Where I think in 2 and now 3, which is what I've been playing, like the area of the level that where you missed it. So I don't know, what's your experience been with it overall though, outside of this mountain bridge level?
So my thing with it never clicked on me until playing it now, and then reading this fantastic feature that's up on Polygon where they got a lot of the folks from the original Naughty Dog team and talk about the development of it. It never clicked on me that Crash Bandicoot really is just a 2D side-scroller from the back. That's how they approach 3D. And my problem with Crash 1 is that they just kind of made that and didn't really think about, well, how can we make a game either easier or more difficult or challenging in specific ways because of this perspective? Because to me, Crash 1 specifically really does feel like just a 2D platformer flipped from the other side. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the challenges, I straight up thought some of the platforming stuff was just really, really ridiculous. It really relies on you landing just right in a way that reminds me of something like a Ninja Gaiden 2, or I'm trying to think of a hard NES game, and nothing is coming to mind.
All of them.
All of them. Yes.
Sure. But yeah, that's the stuff that it doesn't. It feels like the first time they're making one of these games to me. Like they haven't learned, like, well, what works best, and like how can we make this challenging in a way that's not just okay. Here's this super small platform. There's nothing else around it. Make sure you hover around for like a second or two and land on it just right. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's the stuff that I don't really like about Crash. But the rest of it, I don't know. Crash is a fun game to play. In between things, I picked up Crash because I wanted to play it while listening to podcasts, because it seems like a good podcast game, because there's not really any grand narrative that you're going to miss out on Crash. Maybe some pretty good tunes, because the music in Crash is pretty damn good, I'd say.
Yeah, it is.
Some fun, jaunty tracks. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze sounding ass shit. Yeah, and...
yeah, let's not go that far.
But... And I probably should go. I think I'm done with 1. I think I'm going to try out 2 and 3 now.
Now, did you get to that second bridge level and then just call it?
I finished it.
Okay.
And then after that, I was like, I should just like I've seen like
So you're
I have
so
gained.
close.
I know, but I've also like I see Crash as like, okay, well, what knowledge can I gain from this? Because I'm not. I find it fun, but not that much fun that I should like dedicate to finish Crash 1. Like I'm going to get sort of the same gameplay from the next games, and I've gained the knowledge of like what was Crash 1, what was the design of it. I can move on and go to 2 or 3 and see what it. Yeah.
Do you have
And
anything-
2's the one I'm most familiar with, 2 and 3. And I played the first level of 2, and I'm like, yep, this is this fucking game. And I think that's the most impressive thing. And I know a lot of people are like shitting on Vicarious Visions, the developer of this, because the physics of the game are not exactly like Crash, the original Crash games. But this is a fantastic remastering. Like, holy heck.
Yeah.
It looks gorgeous.
It really does.
It looks so good. And apparently they didn't have source code for this game, and so they just built it from scratch. And the amount of detail and the amount just how it's like, yep, that's how that looks like. That's it. It sounds fantastic. Like the only thing I'm picturing is like a team over here. All right, you guys are gonna play the game, and then we're gonna look over your shoulder, and then we're gonna draw, see how it looked like. Okay,
Yeah.
Go a few seconds. Okay, keep going. Like that sounds nightmarish. And I think they did a great job. I don't know what's up with the physics. I heard some speedrunners of Crash were like, it's different, but it's not like game breaking. It's not. It's still Crash.
Yeah.
It feels like Crash.
I don't
but
know.
yeah.
It definitely feels familiar for me.
Yeah.
For me, it was like going into 3. Like I'm like, oh yeah, this is this game. All right, let's go. Have you finished Crash 1, Nabashin? You still chipping away at it?
I'm still chipping away. I'm actually at that second bridge level.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That took me the longest to beat. I'll fucking say for sure. I think I died like 38 times on that fucking level. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like I said, I like it more than I remember. You were right, Nabashin, in that like there just aren't games like this anymore. It was kind of just nice
It's refreshing. It's
to
straight up
have.
it is.
Yeah, it's great.
Like a hard platformer that like looks amazing. Like it looks like a PS4 game. Yeah, it's just
My
it's
only
cool.
wish is that I wish the loading times were a little bit quicker, because I really want to play like a pick up and play sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm gonna try out a level, see how it goes, but there's a lot of loading in it, and you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So,
Yeah.
but
Especially like the boot up is pretty
Yeah.
long. So you can't
Like,
kind of
you-
skip anything.
you gotta boot up the game. You can't skip the little Activision splash screen, and then it loads when you get to the menu, and you click on the game, and then that loads. Then you go to the world select, and then that loads, and yeah.
So as far as I can see, there is literally nothing crediting Naughty Dog at any point in this entire game. That's what it
I
says.
mean, isn't there? I mean, yeah, there's like a Nathan Drake picture in one of the cutscenes. That's about it.
Maybe. But yeah, like I have not seen a single Naughty Dog logo.
I mean, I can like the Easter egg is that there's a pic. The Coco's computer. She's watching Elena and Nathan in that scene on the couch, and there's a.
Oh.
So that's the only thing. But other than that, no. But like, come on, it's Activision. I don't see Activision reaching out to Naughty
Yeah,
Dog.
it's just weird to think like the guys that made this game originally, just no credit whatsoever in this remaster. It's odd.
Yeah, it is. It is weird. No Naughty Dog or nothing. Yeah, because even so I've been playing the Jack and Daxter remasters on Vita, which are a fucking thing. You could play those games on.
Yeah.
And yeah, even though that is ported by mass media and Sony owns the rights, they don't have to put Naughty Dog's name. I mean, they own them, so why not? But it is weird.
Yeah, it's just like a port is one thing. I understand like if they remade this from the ground up, technically like they're not using any material from Naughty Dog.
No.
So like probably like legally they don't have to, but it is like yeah, this is like they made these levels and it's like not a single Naughty Dog logo whatsoever. So I was very alarmed at that, honestly.
Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, you're right, because like I mentioned, they literally had to play the original games and then we have to literally copy this. And so
Yeah.
I guess that is pretty alarming now that I think about it. It is
Yeah.
kind of very weird.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. So I finished Crash 2 as well. That's a good game. Crash 2 is
Yeah.
good.
I still have no idea what happens. Does Cortex? I assume Cortex
Strikes
keeps to
back.
his word. He keeps to his word,
Yeah, he
and
strikes
you get the
back.
crystals, and he's all like, "Okay, well,
Yeah, you saved the world. You did it. There's a lot of dialogue in Crash 2. It's weird.
yeah." I recommend a real quick shout out. Polygon has this series called the Baseball Game, where they just watch all the intros for a specific game series with Patrick Gill and Allegra Frank, and it's interesting because they talk about like, man, Naughty Dog started to get like you could tell how they were like trying to start doing like weird cutscene stuff and story stuff into these games in a really weird way.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really fun because they take a really ridiculous like film school eye to this. All right, so here we have like you see that the camera angle is sort of to evoke that Crash is sort of a weak figure and he's not really sure why, and it's really good.
Yeah,
But-
that sounds pretty good. And then I went to Crash 3. So I've 100% in Crash 2 because that was like more within the realm of possibilities. There are a couple levels in there though. Ooh, dang. I got very frustrated. But Crash 3, I remember why I like Crash 3 the most. It's because you get like abilities every time you beat a boss in that game.
Yeah. Yep.
So you get like a double jump, you get like a super belly
Yeah.
flop.
Is the bazooka the last one?
Yeah, I think so. It might be
Okay.
the fourth or the last one. I'm like, yes, this is what makes Crash
Yep.
3 the best for me. That and, like, I remember it a lot. There's a lot of, and it happens in Crash 2 as well. There's a lot of times where they just like reuse a level though that I don't think happens as much in Crash 1, where it's like this is clearly the same framework of another level. It's just a different level. Like the ones where you're running on like the tiger. Like in Crash 3, there's like 3 of those levels, and they're all pretty much the same. Or like the weird motorcycle racing levels in Crash 3. It's just a lot of weird stuff in Crash 3.
Yeah.
But I like it. Yeah, man. Again, I'm surprised at how much I like those games. I would still like not rank it amongst the best PS1 games, but I like it a lot more than I thought I would. So.
There's definitely a fascinating history lesson, specifically how they approach 3D and how I think, especially after 3, they made something that was pretty damn solid.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good. Not as good as Spyro, but pretty damn.
Yeah, not as good as Spyro for sure, but you know, some people you just can't appease.
Mhm.
Do you want to?
Oh, it's still me, huh?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Destiny?
So, all right. So in Halo 3, there is this little thing. It's called Destiny, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? So yes, Destiny 2 is among us, at least in some form.
Yeah.
Not a full form.
Yeah.
But Destiny 2 beta, it is out. And yeah, that's a thing.
How do you feel, George?
It is Destiny.
Are you
Let
gonna
me
be,
tell
Are you gonna be bad cop and I'm gonna be good cop?
no, I don't think so. Because I don't have okay. I don't have the sort of deep resentment towards Destiny of I wasn't on the fucking water bottle that had like maybe a bit of water and you're just dying to get it out of it.
You didn't have the water bottle that said Destiny's secret stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. I bounced after Vanilla Destiny. I think I only got 26 hours in that game. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
You never came back.
never came back. No, I
Oh.
thought about it. Never came back. No.
But
no,
are
no.
you in?
Okay, so the Destiny 2 beta. It is so what I've played. I haven't played. So the Destiny 2 beta consists of the Homecoming single player-esque mission. It is this sort of grand set piece that introduces what is going on in Destiny 2. And then after that, you get into you can play the Strike or the Crucible or what's the other thing? There's a third thing on there. It's the PvP.
It's like competitive Crucible or whatever.
Okay, right. And so yeah, and I think the most interesting thing out of this, because if we go back, it's hard to remember now, back to 2014, before LaCroix was sweeping the millennials. By the way, I tried that stuff finally today. That shit's nasty. I don't know what the hell y'all are doing, everyone out there. But anyways,
It's all right.
It's
It's water with flavor in it.
no, it's carbonated water in general.
Well, it's carbonated water with nice little drop of lemon in there.
It's carbonated water in general.
I mean, I like carbonated water now because Brant Range ruined me as a human. So I got nothing for you guys.
2014. If we remember before the beta came out for Destiny, it's hard. It's really hard. If I feel like this history is gonna get lost, but before the beta of Destiny, no one gave a fuck about Destiny, and that's a fact. It wasn't until we played.
That's not true.
Like, we cared, but we weren't like, holy shit, this is the next game from Bungie. It's when we played that beta and we were in the Cosmodrome and we thought about the possibility of what Destiny could be, where we're like, this is just one part of this game and it's going to be so big and oh my god, I can't wait to put so many hours in this. And then when Destiny came out, we found out that the Cosmodrome was 1/5 of Destiny.
See, like,
and then
Alex O'Neill was the opposite of that.
I was the opposite, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, where I was like, and this is an experience for me of like, there was a lot of hype, a lot of anticipation. I played the beta for Destiny. I'm like, this is all this game is, isn't it?
Oh, you could see, like, guys, I don't know if we should invest in this.
This is all of Earth, isn't it? I did all of the story missions on Earth. Didn't I just do that, didn't I? And then I didn't get Destiny, and I was right. So,
oh, wow. Okay, you saw through the facade.
There are a few times in the video game space where I actually nailed it. I nailed it with Destiny and Vanilla, at least.
But, well, like, I would say the majority of people were very impressed with that beta and then came into the full release kind of disappointed. Yeah. And I think going into this beta, I feel like it's familiar. Like, it's not the sort of, holy shit, I can't, well, maybe for some, it's Destiny. Like, if you, I remember it was the Fireside Chat episode you had with, and you were talking, Tony, and you were talking about how Tony said, well, if this game is just more Destiny, that's fine for me. Like, it just needs to be a little bit more Destiny. I don't have my high expectations that high. Mm-hmm. And this beta sort of says, like, yes, this is more Destiny. It's more refined. And you can tell that they're sort of holding back because they have to have stuff. They know what was wrong with Destiny 1. And I hope they fix their pipeline issues, because that was the biggest issue with Destiny 1, that they couldn't get shit done in a timely manner. And so Destiny 2 it's very familiar. You know, it's got the Crucible. When I say, oh, it's the Crucible, you know what that is. It's the PvP. Oh, it has a strike. Oh, that's cool. I think the most interesting thing of the beta for me is that homecoming mission where it says, okay, we heard you guys. You want more story. You want Destiny to feel like a place. You want, like, we always talked about the last city in Destiny 1, but it felt so distant that it might as well not have been a place. There are no humans in Destiny. There's just these guardians who say we should protect it doesn't feel like you're ever protecting anything, and there's never any stakes. And this homecoming missions tries to do that, where you're talking to Zavala. That's one of the people in Cade 6, and the main social space in Destiny 1. It was the main one. This is the iconic one, the one everyone knows, is
the tower
being attacked by the Cabal, one of the species in Destiny, and it's just all going to shit. And you see people hanging out, and the folks are talking like, oh, we got to go over here and this, and the Cabal are doing this, and it feels more grand and dynamic in a way that Destiny 1's story content never felt to me, at least just from vanilla Destiny. I don't know about the Taken King. And that's the stuff that's, for me, was most exciting. I think that it's good enough that you'd be like, at least I am, like, I'm willing to see how this comeback goes down. Like, I want to see what you guys, like, attempt at doing this, at making this sort of, making a Bungie-ass game. Because I don't think Destiny felt like a Bungie game to me, apart from the mechanics of shooting, which felt great.
Yeah, still feels great. Yeah, I'll say, like, I talked to Danny Juarez about it a little bit last night, of just, I was surprised because, like, generally it is like, okay, yeah, this is familiar territory. This is Destiny. Like, I think, like, at first glance, it definitely is a thing that's like, well, the base of this is so the same. It definitely has the feel of a Destiny 1.5 than a Destiny 2, because, like, when you expect a full numbered sequel, you expect everything to be at least noticeably different, right? Mm-hmm. Where it isn't necessarily noticeably different, but there are a lot of really small things, and by a lot I mean a lot, and they really start to add up because all I did was play through that campaign mission. That's, like, mostly what I wanted to see from this. I do want to play this strike at some point, but I don't really have any interest in playing the multiplayer.
And part of me is also scared, like, what if this is what if there's only a little bit of content and this strike is like 1 of 4? And I played it already.
And that's definitely, like, a possibility. But like, and Danny brought up a good point when him and I were talking last night of like, well, we really need to see the environments that you get to explore, like the adventure zones or whatever.
Like, what is that? What is the social space in this new Destiny, which apparently is gonna go live near the end of the beta? I heard. I don't know if that was made up. I don't know.
I haven't heard anything like that, but yeah, like you said, George, I was kind of worried going into this that it was just going to be more Taken King content, which would be fine. And again, it's like lowered expectations. Like if it is more of that, it'll still be good.
Yeah.
And Taken King was definitely more geared, better story stuff. But that campaign mission is another step past that, right? Where if Taken King was Destiny 1.5, this feels like Destiny 2 in that regard of like, for example, what I said last week, a dude like is in front of you and talks to you, like which literally never happened in Destiny 1. It never happened ever. You see like Cade 6 within the first 5 minutes of that mission, and he's in front of you talking, and then he goes off and does something, and then you go into the room that he was in to make it feel real. And you see Zavala and Hykora, and like it's okay, yeah, like they are NPC characters walking around doing stuff, and you can see them.
And there's that good moment where the custodian bot, and you're just walking on this hallway, and he's just cleaning up, and it's really good.
It's really good, yeah. I'll say like a thing I wasn't expecting, like the music in some of the moments, like to kind of coincide with some of the moments, was really, really great.
Yeah.
There's a part like when you're on a spaceship and you go out into like the open air, and like the orchestra just like picks up, and it's like this fight on top of the ship, and it's very, very good. The music is very, very good. And there are a lot of like beats, like the story mission was longer than probably any single story mission in Destiny 1. And it felt like a journey. Like it felt like you went somewhere. There's like a weird full CG cutscene like dead center in the middle, but like aside from that, like there is a grandiose feel to it, and the moment, because you were like coming back from a mission, right? Which like they didn't show when they showed the demo.
Yeah.
When they announced or like unveiled Destiny 2. So you're coming back and you land somewhere. You see the city, like the whole city on fire, and you're coming back through a hallway, and you see a bunch of people, like humans that live in the city. Which again,
finally,
you literally never saw in Destiny 1. Cannot emphasize this enough. You never saw normal people in Destiny 1. But you see like a hallway of people. You see like the big guy who runs the Crucible, again, like a character you don't get to see like face to face often in that game before, and then you have like this big unveil moment where you come up out of like a destroyed wall and into the social space from Destiny 1. So like you don't just start there. It's like a kind of a reveal, and it feels paced well. It feels like thoughtful, and it is like a cool moment to see like. This was I spent so much time in this space before, and now it's just destroyed. So, like, there was more payoff as a Destiny 1 player than I expected. Like, I don't think you could get that from, just jumping into Destiny 2, but that doesn't make it any less of a cool moment just in general. And I think they struck that balance really well. Because, like, you're, like, going through the hall, like, when you see that custodian, you're going out to another part of the tower that you're used to kind of going
right
to.
where you walk through every time to get through this section of the
and it's like then it's just like a big part of it is just destroyed. It's just gone. Where like the speaker is, it's just destroyed, and then you go into like the actual city and you start walking around the city streets. It's very cool. Like again, they kind of showed this before, but like playing through it myself and just kind of being in that space, I was like, it's clear that there are a lot of really little things, little tweaks that they've made to just the presentation. The HUD is just a little bit different in a very good way as well, to make it just like it feels like an evolution that feels more significant than the Taken King. So it feels like more of a jump than 1 to Taken King was, which is what I was worried it would just be kind of like an equivalent jump. It feels like more than that. And again, there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of questions. I'm not going to just sit here and write off, like, it's going to be great. I think there's deservedly more cynicism you need to have with Destiny because of how it started. But I was really impressed, and there was a lot more there than I thought there would be. So, I'm yeah, I'm like I'm in. I tweeted out. I'm like, yeah, I'm in it. Like you got me. But like I was like really impressed at what they did, and like they changed the way the skill trees work and look for all of the subclasses and everything. And I like how those look as well. So
Really, the worst part about that whole thing, I thought, was that thing where you have to, the platforming section where you have to turn off the turbine or whatever the heck. I don't think I
yeah.
didn't find that wasn't great. I thought,
yeah,
but
it's weird. I mean, I just jumped down and shot him, and then it was done. So like I don't know.
yeah, it has the grandness of a Halo mission, like an opening. Like it feels like how you might have remembered the first mission of Halo, where shit's just going bad and you're just getting out of here, or where you have the war. Yeah, it feels like what you wanted the story stuff in Destiny 1 to be, where you feel this sort of there's stakes to things.
Yeah. And like there's like a rebranding to the menus. Like generally the pause menu is the same, but like light is now called power, which I thought was interesting. So you don't have a light level. You do still, but it's just called your power level, which is the average of your defensive and offensive equipment. So it's like there are a few tweaks they made here and there to kind of change things around. But like unlike in the first beta, you can't see what the actual map, overworld map of like selecting locations to go to looks like. You just get a menu that shows you 3 options. So again, they're kind of holding back, like you said, George, like the big reveals, which is a good lesson to learn from the beta.
Definitely. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no drops in this game, in this beta. There's no like
drop.
Yeah, which is really weird to play Destiny or like, oh, I'm just kind of playing. It's bizarre when they took the carrot away. It's like, oh, I guess I just have to exist now.
Yeah. It's very odd. I'm jazzed. I'm excited about it. So
yeah, I'll probably play it just because I want to see that, and also I had some good memories with Vanilla Destiny playing with friends, and I want to be open to the possibility of that happening again. So
you should play with me, George. You should get in the crib.
That sounds fun.
Or you could play with the cool kids on PC.
Don't play it on PC. Don't leave me.
60 frames per second, though.
Oh, whatever. God, no, I'm just kidding. That sounds fucking so good. I watched a video of Destiny running at 60 frames per second, and I wanted to cry because
it sounds.
Should you be able to play on the computer too?
That's actually a good question.
You should be able to.
Yeah,
I should be able to play at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds so good. Like I can't even imagine it. Like some folks who went to that preview event was like, "Holy shit, what the hell is going on?"
Yeah. The particle effects and stuff on it too.
You should join us.
You should just have me abandon all my PS4 friends. Yeah, they're dead to me anyway. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Very, very excited. Anything else, George?
No, that's all I got that's of any significance.
Do you guys want to hear about Nier?
No.
Well, you're gonna have to, Scott.
How far are you, Alex? Oh, well, yeah. Let's just. What are your?
Very early.
Okay.
So, let's say I'm a little bit further than you are in Tales of Berseria.
Okay.
In Nier Automata, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have like some thoughts though. So I want to run this by you.
Sure.
Have you played the video game for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 called Nier?
No. What is that? What's that?
It's a humdinger. I'll tell you what.
People tell me it's bad, but it's also good.
It's good. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just good, but it's good.
I don't know, man. People tell me about that fishing, and I don't know.
The fishing is not super good, but I did a lot of it when I played that. I did like 3 hours of just fishing.
But yes,
anyway,
you have a perspective.
I do have a perspective, because I've played Nier. So I'm let's see. I'm running. I did a desert thing. It's like a human man with silver hair came out of a bunch of bodies.
Oh, so good.
And
Holy
I fought him. That was weird.
Oh my god, so good.
But I was into it. Game feels great, looks great. very okay with them sacrificing like big grandiose textures on dumb buildings to have that game run at 60 frames per second. So like I'm good. Runs super smooth, so I'm happy with that. Here is the weird thing for me. I did not expect this to feel like Nier.
Oh,
It's still like running around the world, talking to NPCs, going through the menus even. It feels like Nier, like the first Nier. It feels like a sequel to Nier.
that's
And
dope.
It is dope. And like the thing going into this, I expected this to basically feel like a completely different game. Which to some regard it does. Like the action is much deeper, it's much more responsive, and it feels great for sure. Very, very fun playing game. And I've not played a lot of Platinum games. This would be, I think, my third. So, with Vanquish, Wonderful 101, and now this, I did play a little bit of Bayonetta. So I guess it would be my fourth. But it's again that nice remembrance that Nabishin just lives for his entire life of just like, oh, this is really good. But it feels like a sequel to Nier, which was a thing that I didn't know I wanted it to feel like. But like down to its roots, it feels like they looked at that first game and were like, okay, like how can we improve on this? How can we make a game that was a 7 with like a lot of great ideas into like a 9? For like to put it in a poor light, but it's really rad, and I like that. Honestly, makes me like it even so much more because I had this big journey of I talked about on the show of like playing through the original Nier and kind of seeing what it was going for, but not quite realizing that potential. And this game feels like they got another chance. It feels like those guys are making this game too. Which I know it's like, Platinum did most of the development on this. I don't know how much of like the original Nier team is even in here, but from the way moving around the world, again, like very little things, and dialogue and presentation feel, it's like this is Nier. Like even the way it transitions from 3D to 2D environments, where you're kind of side scrolling and then you're going into an open area is like, yes, this is fucking Nier. And I didn't know I wanted that, but that is exactly what I wanted, and they totally delivered that.
That sounds dope because I came from it. And I assume Nabishin did as well. Completely fresh, and that sounds dope to have this game. Like, no, they got another shot to do this thing.
Yeah, and again, like I wasn't playing the original Nier to necessarily get the sensation. I was just playing it because
Right.
I wanted to know how the philosophy of that game would then transition into this. But like again, it is not just the ideas, but also the gameplay that transitions into this, and it's really, really cool. Now I think about it, like going back for you guys, especially like having never played the original Nier, going back to play that if you ever wanted to would be impossible, probably, because you're like, man, I know what this could feel like if it was great. But it's really cool. Like, I don't have necessarily a massive opinion about it yet. I love it just immediately, like everything about it. I'm like, I'm into this so much, so good. But I don't necessarily have like big thought provoking feelings about it.
Yeah, you'll get there.
I know.
Yeah, you definitely will. I hope you like this, Alex. Like, I really
I
not
don't
just
think-
because I like it, but God, Nier, I really, man,
I
yeah.
don't think there is a world where I finish this and don't like this, honestly. So, which it's possible, but having played the original and really liked that, even if it was kind of flawed,
Especially once the narrative threads of Nier seep into Automata. I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very, very, very excited. I just I ended up playing mostly Crash Bandicoot this week, which was again unexpected.
Surprise.
Yeah, and I'm like halfway through Crash 3, so I'm pretty much almost done with that. And I figure I'm just all my time on Nier. Also upset that literally 2 days after I went and bought Nier, it's like, we're gonna discount it like $30. But hopefully I can get that resolved at some point. But that's really all I've been playing. I think you have to go, George?
Yeah, this is close enough. Yeah,
Because I figure
I could.
we can take our first break and you can pop out and we can get back with the rest of the video games. Anything you want to throw out there, George?
No, like we mentioned, there is a thing that is on the horizon that I'm excited about, and yeah, I hope it's good. I'm excited. Again, way more excited than I was in the beginning. I wasn't sure. I knew like the folks that were there working on this are talented, but I wasn't sure if we could make it something that is deserves to exist and can stand out. And I think we are going to do that. But yeah, more on that soon. Obviously, you can find me on Twitter at jcruzalvarez26, and you can find my words and stuff on irrationalpassions.com. There's there.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Anything in particular to shout out? I do a movies podcast. I'll shout that out because I feel like our community is very into making stuff around video games, and I do a movies podcast where we cover movies of big size and small size. We talked about Baby Driver, Wonder Woman, and we also talked about stuff like The Beguiled and Bad Batch. And that podcast is Movies Are Real. It's on iTunes and Google Play. Plug. Movies Are Real. I think it's an okay movies podcast.
I assume
yeah, that's all I got.
REEL.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good, guys. Cool. Thank you for stepping in. I'm sorry it was short notice, but I'm glad you could come on for some amount of time.
Yeah, I wish I could stay for the whole thing, of course.
It's all right. Just out there complaining about how long this fucking podcast is on other shows. It's fine. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got a few more video games to talk about, and then we will do some news, listen to some voicemails, and throw it out. So we will be back in just a little bit. You can stop recording, George, and just get it to me as soon as you can.
Alrighty. Cool.
Thanks for stepping in, man.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
It's always good to get your perspective on stuff.
I really wanted to hear what Nabishin had to say about Tekken 7 because I haven't played Tekken 7, and god damn, I want to play Tekken 7.
It's
oh
so
my
good.
god.
It's good.
Tekken 7. But yes, thanks Scott Nabishin for having me, as always. Wonderful.
Of course, man.
And you
Alright.
have a good night. Go enjoy. You had to pick somebody up from something.
Yeah,
Something
but then I
practice?
have the whole night. Probably I'll play Persona 5. Deep in that Mementos
Hell
grind
yeah.
right now.
Yeah, just get in there. Let me tell you about the memeing toast, as I casually said to myself when playing that game alone. All right, bye, George.
See ya.
Later, man.
He just stays here forever. He's like, I can't leave. Here we go. I'm gonna go refill my water,
I'm gonna use the bathroom.
and I will be right back.
Yep. So that's everyone.
All right. Is everybody back? Take that as a no.
All right, ready whenever you are.
Cool. I think Scott is still not back yet. Hold on. I'm just gonna do this. I want to see what happens.
Do you want?
You'll see.
Door trailers out.
Damn. Never mind. Just gonna download the Comedy Button soundboard app and then just hit the it's an upright bass button a whole bunch, but it's been taken off the App Store. I guess I get it. I wonder if the Beyond soundboard is on there still. Oh, hell yeah, it is. Mitchell Morgan out there changing lives. Man, I'm excited about grilling tomorrow now. It's just looking at the all the brats in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very into it. I'm not like a big grill guy, nor am I an outdoorsman at all, as you know, but I like the idea. Scott? No, still nothing. He could be eaten. Could have just left us. Leave this for a nice fireside chat. Let me see. Do you know how late CVS is open?
No idea.
10 p.m. Yeah. I did not pick up the refill for my medication today, which is not good. Not the end of the world. I can get it tomorrow, but
Man, Thor Ragnarok looks so weird in the best way.
yeah, it does. Oh, is there a new trailer?
It's a new trailer out right now, and it looks like nothing like you've seen before as far as the Thor movie.
That's
Jesus
so
Christ.
great. That's so great. I'm so into it, man.
This looks so good.
Shit, if that comes out during Extra Life, we have to go see it together.
I think it says November.
It's November.
Like November 3rd, I think.
Let's see. That's not helpful. November 3rd, yeah, so that's the week after his Extra Life, so. Shit.
I am back.
Welcome back. Let's do this thing. You guys ready?
Yep.
I don't know where Tony is. He's just gone. But he misses out. No Destiny 2 talk for Tony.
Not online at all, Scott? Tony, honey?
Yeah, I had him check before we started.
Oh, okay.
Yep, no, still no news on Tony.
He's probably asleep, if I had to guess, or he might be at work.
Mhm.
I feel like he would have texted us back if he was at work. All right. And we are back. Hey, welcome back.
You welcome back.
Thank you. let's talk about some other video games. The only other thing I've been playing is Overwatch. To kind of round out my games there. Unless you had any, do you have any deep questions for me on Nier, or are you just ready for me to experience it?
I actually don't want you to say anything about it. I just want you to just keep on.
Just take it. How do you feel about? I'm just curious because I'm gonna just take that experience with me. How do you feel about like me saying it feels like a sequel to Nier?
I don't know. Because I didn't play the first Nier, so
Yeah.
it'd be like saying, because there's nothing in this game, well, not to like later on that like references too much of the first game. So like, there's some stuff that just went way over my head. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that went way over my head, but like, there's certain characters that I know are from previous game or in this game type of thing.
Yeah, it's cool. Again, it was an aspect of that game that I wasn't expecting, but I'm happy it's there. Overwatch is still very good. I've played a sickening amount of that game. I'm getting better. I've now surpassed the rank that... So this is how it went, right? I did my 10 placement matches in competitive, right? I was ranked at like an 1866, right? The order 1866. And then I just dropped right down to about 1506, which means I was right about to drop from silver to bronze. And then I have now crawled my way up to like an 1871. So now I've surpassed myself when I first started, just over the many hours of playing that game. It's very good. I think I've gotten a little bit better at it. And I like it a lot still. God, I just play so much Overwatch.
Have you tried any new players since the last time you played?
Having new what's?
New players?
New characters?
New characters, sorry.
I've gotten pretty good with Winston out of nowhere. I used to like Winston like originally, and then he kind of got debuffed. It seems like he's gotten quite a bit stronger. I tweeted something out last night of like, hey, don't fuck with my Winston, where I did surprisingly very good with Winston. But I don't know. I like it. God, it's very good. Game of the year, one might say. Again, like, still thinking back to that, like, having a competitive multiplayer game as my game of the year is very odd for me, right? Because I'm not necessarily that kind of player, but it's nice to be able to go back into it and still just really, really, really love it. Scott, what you been playing, bud?
Kind of the same stuff.
Okay.
We finished that game, Stellaris.
Oh.
Yeah, we lost.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot a thing that I've been playing, and I played it with you, Scott.
Yeah.
I played Tabletop Simulator.
Finally, yep, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We played a couple hours of that.
Yeah, we were missing a bunch of people though.
Yeah, but we still had a good time.
Yeah.
We played Hitler. We played Secret Hitler, and we played Exploding
Cats.
Yeah. Which, they were both very good. The Exploding Cats game has just, like, a lot of fun cards.
Yep.
It's good to have, like, a frame of reference. So, like, Tabletop Simulator, it seems like you can't, like, really set rules. So, like, you, as the player, can do whatever.
Yeah, it's like in real life. Again, when you do something stupid or rude, you just get kicked from the lobby.
Yeah, it is like
instead
in real
of punched in the face.
In a weird thing.
Because you can't do that.
Because you can just do whatever you want. So like, if it's not your turn, you can just start drawing cards, right? There's no system in place to stop you.
Nope.
Which I just think is really funny.
Yep, like that for Exploding Kittens, you can drop two cards out of essentially the same card, and you can just rip a card out of someone else's hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for them to say, "All right, I'm ready. Here you go," and watch them spread out. Nope, you just go yoink.
Yep.
This is mine now.
Yep, it's cool, and it's like it means you have to pay closer attention because, like, for example, if you have to place a card, you have to flip it in your hand because it's invisible to the other players when it's in your hand, and then you flip it so that when you move it out of your hand, it'll still be face down, so other people can't see it. Just like the actual mechanics of how Tabletop Simulator worked were really interesting to me.
Yeah, because it emulates how you would be playing a card game, sitting down at a table.
Yeah, and it does it surprisingly well. I was into it. I'm excited to play more with you guys. We even got Griffin to buy it and then play with us. So, anything else you've been playing, Scott?
Besides those two games, nothing new.
Okay. People should, if listeners out there want to play Tabletop Simulator with Scott and I, let us know. I'd be very down with that as well. All right, Nabishin, I'm ready. Let's talk about video games.
Okay.
Got your list here. You got a nice long list as the usual, and I'm excited about a couple of things on here.
Just to get this out of the way, I'm playing more Persona 5.
Yes.
So I'm in this platinum race with Kayla Uma right now. So we're both racing to get the platinum first. For context of where I'm at, I just finished all of Futaba's stuff. So like I'm farther in the story, but like there's still stuff I need to do. Like I just got the Guardian, which was like not really that big of a thing. Not compared to like something like a Persona 4, where it's like something that takes like months to get done. I can get it done like maybe like a few weeks if you know exactly what you need to do. So I finally got the Guardian. Still trying to get all these soda cans, and obviously like the big goal at the end of this is to beat the twins. So that's just a matter of leveling up right now. So like right now I'm pretty much in September now because I'm right back in school. So
What about the Reaper too?
oh, I did the Reaper last time.
Okay. I forgot about him, and I was going to do it on my first playthrough, and I'm fucking pissed that I didn't.
I mean, you still can. You got like I'm sure you got multiple save files.
Oh, that's true. I could load some. I don't know if. No, yeah, I do. Yeah, I could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
True. Fair.
Pro tip. God, what season was it? I think it was like flu season. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You want to try doing on that because
Yeah, I heard.
yeah, because he's pretty almost impossible any other way.
Yeah.
But like if you just like do that way and then like try to get him like you have to like it's all in random, so it's like you have to try to like find him when he's like so he can go into despair.
Yeah.
And when he goes into despair, that's how you can beat him.
Yeah.
Or at least that's like the best way of doing it.
What game are we talking about now?
Persona 5. Don't worry. Still there.
Okay.
Okay. Still trucking along. I believe Kaylee just recently started her platinum run for Persona 5, so you
Yes, she
have
did.
the edge.
I do, but like she already did all her confidants, so like she's fine as far as that. So like she's and all the other stuff she mainly has to do is just fine. I think it's like probably the only thing I have to try to really do before her is like do my final fusion with my super mega persona and like the twin things. That's the main two things.
I'm really curious to see what that persona looks like.
Normal sized.
Well, like what if it's not normal sized?
Oh, I don't know.
That's the thing, right? So I'm curious. Let me know how that goes, because I'm like, at this point, I just have too much else to play to try and get the platinum for that right now. Like Nier and whatnot. So hopefully I'll be able to revisit that though soon at some point. Not too worried about it. I have my experience with Persona 5. Very good video game. You all should play it. What else you been playing, Nabishin?
We already talked about Crash Bandicoot. Did a little bit more Overwatch. I'm like 22 on PlayStation, and I'm like 19 on Xbox One.
One of these days you'll get the 25 on one of them.
Maybe. We'll see. That game's still fun. I enjoy that game still.
All right. I'm actually like still, because I'm thinking about it, I'm really curious to see what you think of competitive mode, just because of like how long the matches are.
Are they longer?
So the match is it's essentially like if it's a payload mission, you play both sides, and if you both finish it, then you have like a sudden death third round. If it is a King of the Hill mission, it is first to 3 as opposed to first to 2. Meaning there could be 5 rounds total. And if it is a assault where you have to capture the 2 points, it is you play both sides, and if you both get both points, then you do another sudden death round as well. So yeah, typically the matches are longer. I've definitely had a payload mission be upwards of 30 to 40 minutes. So it gets fucking intense. So I'm just curious to see what you feel about that format of the game, because I just prefer that. That's mostly why I can play competitive. I don't really care about the ranking necessarily, but yeah, just throwing it out there.
Okay. Something I should have probably mentioned earlier in the bonus content, but another thing I've been I just got into was the G Club, which is basically just Game Grumps podcast.
Yeah.
But they it's good because they just go in depth in just one topic. Like their second episode was on Overwatch, and they had Susie, Aaron, Barry, and Vernon on, and they just pretty much went into depth on it because they're super into Overwatch. So I got to hear some how they feel about it now, and how Susie, for instance, isn't a fan of double XP. She thought that kind of portrays what that game is and stuff like that. So it's interesting hearing how people who've been playing it for over a year and there's these high level players who squad up and play that game, how their perspective on it. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that they had a full competitive team that they rolled with until I started watching the We Teach Dan How to Play Overwatch series, which is also very good. If any fans of Game Grumps listening here, which you should be, happy 5 years to Game Grumps. I think this week they're 5 years old, which is crazy. But yeah, that's very curious. I'll have to give that a look. Speaking of Game Grumps, it's too good a segue not to use.
Tekken 7.
Tekken 7. Killing me. All right, we can talk about Tekken 7. It's fine.
Tekken 7 is so good. It's a real good game.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's real good. So God, as far as Tekken, God, I played them. I played 4, I played 5, I played Dark Resurrection on PS3. I got 6. But Tekken was always just a series. Is I just just play, and because my fighting game friends who I don't really hang out with anymore, and I probably should because I need reason to play fighting games against other people. As a matter of fact, I told my nephew Vernon, who lives with me, hey, we're pretty much going to start playing fighting games together. So you're just going to be my partner, and we're
gonna have to
gonna,
get good, Vernon. Together. I really need you to do this for me.
Yeah, pretty much. So whenever we get to Injustice, I don't know when we're gonna do that, but I'll probably go through the story mode again with him, so we can do the same thing, trade controls or whatever, and then know how to play that game. Cause I know he's into Mortal Kombat style games, but I think he has struggled with Street Fighter and stuff like that. So we'll probably just I'll try to teach him how to do that so we can learn together. But Tekken's real good though. And the reason why it's so good, or one of the many reasons why I feel it's so good is
Akuma.
Akuma or Akuma? Which one?
Akuma.
Okay. Akuma or Akuma?
Wait, a bear? No, not the bear. The man who is named Akuma. Although there is a bear in there. Now that I think about it, I've never played a Tekken game, so never even touched one.
Yeah. Basically, the main gimmick of Tekken, you could say, is all 4 buttons are all 4 face buttons are the every limb on your body. So left punch, right punch.
It's a quap. It's a QWOP game.
Pretty much. So that's pretty much the thing about Tekken that sets it apart for everything else, and sidestepping and stuff like that because it's a 3D plane. But yeah, that game's real good. And what I was saying before, the reason why I got so into it was because you can there's the gallery mode in there, and you can collect you have currency in this game, the more fights you fight and more currency you get, and when you first started the game you get 3 million currency or whatever, and that was pretty much enough for me just to buy all the movies for Tekken. And so pretty much I spent 5 hours or something like that just getting up on the lore of Tekken. I didn't really have an intentionally to do it. I always played Tekken casually. I never really cared about the story, more or less. But I know the big thing about this game was this is the end of the Mishima bloodline and everything. So it's I should try to know at least somewhat what's going on. And So like they have like all the moves from all the previous games in the gallery section. So I bought all those, and like I just spent like a good few hours just looking at them, like just looking at the ending, trying to understand it for what it is. Like, cause like some endings are just jokey endings, and some endings are like some shit just happens, and like I was like, oh, okay, and like, oh, like Nia Williams, she loses her memory between Tekken 2 and Tekken 3. How did that happen? So I go on Wikipedia, I look it up, and it's like, oh, okay, she just like lost her memory because like she was in a cryogenic stasis the entire time, and then like knowing like the whole like thing with like with Kazuya and like Jin, and like Jin being Kazuya's son, and then like Kazuya being Hahachi's son as well, and like Hahachi destroying Kazuya like off a cliff at the first game, and then the second game, Kazuma throws Kazuya throws Hahachi off the cliff, then he throws Kazuya off into a volcano, and then like
It's the volcano shit that really throws me off.
What do you mean?
Just like being thrown into a volcano, like actually.
Yeah, it was a thing that happened.
Oh, it's great. It's very good.
It's really good. Like I still gotta do like a little bit more research. Like the whole devil gene thing. It's like I understand it, but I kind of don't understand. So I need to read up a little bit more on that. But like I'm weirdly into it as far as story wise, and I beat the story, by the way. Or he's like the main part of the story, like the first part of the story where you like battle like the devil at the end, more or less. And
that's
like,
cool.
Yeah, that ended like pretty nicely. And it made me really, really like Hahachi, because like he's just straight up the villain in that entire series, like from Tekken 1 to Tekken 7, and even in the spinoff game, he's just like straight up the villain. But like he's like one of those like one of those lovable villains type of thing, because it's like, oh, you're just like you do these pretty awful things, like you killed your wife and you pretty much like threw your son off into like a volcano like 3 or 4 times, but like I don't know, like you're funny. You're funny. You're a funny old man, and you're also cool. You got cool moves and stuff like that. So like, I actually like Hahachi in this game. But yeah, Tekken's a weird series, but like, I really dig it. And the fighting is also good too. I guess I should mention that. Yeah,
it's like grappling based, right? Like that's a big part of Tekken, right?
This is part of it, but it's not really the thing about that game.
Okay.
Like I said, it's mostly just the limb things. It's pretty much like executing combos. It's like dial a combo type of things that you can get down. It's one of those things where like when you like do a combo, and sometimes it'd be like you hit a wall, you can extend that combo so you can get like up to like over 10 hit combos type of thing. Mm-hmm. And take advantage of your surroundings and stuff like that. So like yeah, Tekken's cool. I really like Tekken a lot.
That's cool. Like, do you think this would be like a good place to jump into Tekken?
Considering that they give out the story about it, yeah, but like I'm a weird boy, so like that's kind of like only something I got I got into. I don't know, like just jumping into there, and like as far as like just doing the main campaign, I should say, as far as if you want context of who these characters are and what they're doing, that's a little off-putting, because like I said, I spent like maybe like 4 or 5 hours just like doing my research so I can actually know who these characters are. Because like I said, I played Tekken since like Tekken 4, but like I never really gave a damn about the characters. I always played like Lee and Jin, and just like pretty much just played those characters. But I never really like took the time to like know like their personalities more or less. And now like that I've done that, like I kind of want to play like everybody. I just want just like just to get like a good feel for them. It feels good, man. Like I feel good about this fighting game, like more than like I did with Street Fighter 5. Not like it's saying that Street Fighter 5 was bad or anything like that, but like it was more of like there was no substance in that one. Mm-hmm. This feels like I'm playing Street Fighter 4 all over again, if that's a good like comparison, I guess you could say. Okay, or it's like I want to try every character and like try to know how they work more or less.
I like Street Fighter Cross Tekken. That's like I'm thinking about Tekken, and like that's my biggest exposure to that at all.
I want to replay that game now, because
now I'm thinking about it. I kind of want to play that game. So
Yeah,
I'm with you,
I'm excited
yeah.
for that.
Cool. It's Tekken is like one of those things I have zero exposure to because like, the only 3D fighters I've really played is like I've played a Virtua Fighter at some point, and I played Soul Calibur on the GameCube, Soul Calibur 2. Might have played a little bit of Soul Calibur 4 at some point, but so like the fighting on the 3D plane, like I really don't understand because since I've like actually gotten into fighting games, all I've played is 2D fighters. All I've played, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3, Mortal Kombat, Injustice, and Street Fighter, obviously all 2D. So trying to process, and like Persona 4 as well, Persona 4 Arena. Trying to process the idea of like a 3D fighting game is just weird to me. You know? So it's cool though. I mean, I understand. I've seen a lot of Tekken. I think the game looks great too. I just like it's always a series I've. It's not even one of those things I've picked up a controller and played around of at one point. Like I've literally never played any Tekken ever at all. Which I feel like with a fighting game, there's not a lot of games like that. Typically you've like picked up and played something at some point, but I don't know. Just a random aside. What else have you been playing, Albertson?
I got Splatoon 2 on the Switch.
Yeah, very curious to see how you feel about this.
I'm actually really digging it. I'm digging it more than I thought I would because like I was very mellow as far as like getting that game because it's like because everything leading up to it is like okay yeah it's Splatoon and like and when I got it's Splatoon and then I remember I really liked Splatoon so like
Splatoon's great.
Yeah, so playing that game again has been really fun actually. It's been weird like playing it because at first like when I played the beta I couldn't play with the motion controls for whatever reason. Like it just wasn't working with the not having without the Wii U gamepad for whatever reason, or at least it didn't feel right in my head. It's like switching to inverted and like trying to play like that for whatever reason. I don't know why it felt that way, but it did for a second. But then like when I got the main game and it's like I said, oh, let me just give the motion controls like one more shot before I switch it over again, and then it clicked again. So like okay, so yeah, I still feel real good about that game.
Yeah, I played it in, I don't know, are you playing it handheld or docked mostly?
Docked mostly.
Okay. Are you playing with a Pro Controller, like, with motion controls?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I played it in handheld mode with motion controls, and I thought it was fine. So, that was more kind of like what I was used to. How do you feel about, like, the changes to stuff that they've made? Like, the kind of using the D-pad to jump to your ally characters and whatnot? Because I liked it a lot. I feel like, I don't know, it feels like slicker in a little bit. More slick. I don't know if slicker is a word. It feels more slick in some ways, like and like I thought some of the new guns that I got to play around with it when I did play a very little bit of it at PAX, I was really into as well. So like the dodge roll. This game has dodge rolls now.
Only with the double
with the two pistols. It's a game changer though. I'll tell you what.
Games are better with dodge rolls. Like
it's
true. People
no,
don't understand.
Your theory is like literally one for like it's never been wrong. Any game with a dodge roll is just immediately better. So, Nier has a dodge. It's kind of a roll. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about like that? Because I haven't seen like the social space or anything. I haven't seen what it's like to walk around and whatnot. I haven't seen the campaign at all. So, how are you feeling about Splatoon 2?
I mean, like all like it's kind of like what I sent to you, like when you sent me asked me if you should get it. Is like it is pretty. It feels like basically that same game again, like almost completely. Like there's one mode, one new mode that's like pretty much a horror mode, which I haven't tried yet. But yeah, it's essentially just the same game again, just like with more style and more. There's more guns essentially.
Would you say it has more style, more grace? This Kong has a funny face. I'm sorry, I couldn't control myself.
Okay.
It's a DK rap. The Donkey Kong rap.
That's why I didn't know it.
Donkey Kong 64. Let me tell you.
I never played it, man.
Yeah, because like I mean, you brought up a good point too when you tweeted me. It's like, hey, did you not play a lot of Splatoon because it was on Wii U or because you didn't like the game? It's like kind of because it was on Wii U, and that's why I said like I kind of want to get this digitally, just so that way I have it wherever I go, anytime. And maybe I will end up. I can't afford it right now, but because I just bought Crash and Nier. Yeah, like I'm very curious to kind of play it, especially because like I found a much more passionate community of folks to play Switch games multiplayer like together than I ever had on Wii U. So if like I could roll with 3 other people playing Splatoon together, I think I'd have a lot more fun, and I'd want to do it more often. And that was like my same thing with Mario Kart 8 because that is literally that game again.
Yeah.
And I still had more fun playing it on Switch because I ended up playing it with tons and tons of people.
For sure.
So that's why I'm kind of hopeful. I think I'll end up getting it. I just not right now, but maybe this coming weekend I will grab it. But Splatoon's still good.
Yeah, man. It's not surprising, but it's like I like, you know, I know I just bought it just to buy it more or less because like hey, I need games for my Switch, but like it's actually like a solid purchase that I'm super happy that I did.
Have you played the campaign at all?
Oh, just a little bit of it.
Is it because I know nothing about it. I've heard it's very good though.
Yeah, I didn't get too much deep into it, but like so far so good. It's all right.
Okay. I still never played the campaign from Splatoon 1, so
That one was real good.
okay. Cool. I look forward to hearing more about it and to playing it myself, so. What else you got, Namashin? There's one game left on this list.
Yeah, the only other game I have is Dream Daddy, a dad simulator.
Speaking of Game Grumps.
So I'm gonna get this out of the way real fast. Is this like just a slight disappointment for me. Being someone who played a lot of dating sims in his time, for some reason I guess that's just my dumb expectations for it. I thought it would be like bringing something new to the genre, more or less. And for the most part, it's pretty much just another one of those type of games, which is it's just slightly disappointing. Like like I said, I don't know why I pictured this in my head. Like this is just like bad expectations on my part. So I'm not blaming them. It's just like more on my part. But I thought it'd be something like more innovative with as far as like a dating sim, not as far as like who you're dating, because like obviously what that premise is great, but more of like like the way you play those type of games. Like I don't know. I thought it'd be like a little bit more in depth. But like then again, I'm only like maybe like an hour and a half in it so far. Unfortunately, because it got delayed so often, like I didn't put too much to it, because like that's when I got Tekken, that's when I got Splatoon 2. That's why I was hoping to play it last week, but it never happened. So yeah, but yeah. Other than that, though, that game's pretty good so far. The subject matter is like is what's really the hook of that game, honestly. And there's some cute dads in there. Like there's nothing. I can't really talk about it that much. Like because like there's nothing much to really say at the moment.
So I'm curious. So like, do you make a dad? Or are you a dad looking to date other dads?
Yeah, you make your dad Sona, and like I said, I'm only like an hour and a half in, but like it's pretty much like I met maybe like I met three dads so far. So far Craig is the best for me. Brian's also really cool too. But like it's just like for instance, like I met Brian. And like we were in the park or whatever, and like Brian brought his Brian was out there with his daughter. Like his daughter's studying like in the picnic area or something like that, and like then we're both talking to each other, and then like a sequence happens, which I won't spoil. That like kind of like we were just like bragging about each other's daughter, because I have a daughter as well. My daughter Amanda, who's in high school. Brian's daughter is like in I think she's like in middle school or something like that. But yeah, it's just like in the aspect of like just talking to them, getting to know them, and like just like hanging out with whoever dad that you like the best. It seems like, at least so far.
I like that. Oh, it's just jolly. It's fun.
Mhm.
And so like, is this is partially made by the Game Grumps, right? I know Vernon has a big hand in it. I don't know the studio necessarily behind it. Is it like an internal studio? Is it just like a couple of people?
It's whoever they hired at Game Grumps. Like this is their studio. It's like they're publishing it and it's their blueprint.
That's cool. Because I was unaware of this until you had kind of brought it up to me a few weeks ago. So, it's cool that they're making indie games. Do you think that Game Grumps would do a Let's Play of this?
I don't think they would. Susie's done a little bit so far.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't think they would.
Yeah. It's just also cool thinking like because I got into Game Grumps 3 years ago now, so they're 5 years old now, and they've gone from making Let's Plays to making like the announcement video for the Shovel Knight amiibo for Nintendo, like the official Nintendo announcement video for that, and like live shows and video games now. So it's just very cool. It's very cool. So, cool. That's it for video games, right? Nothing else. How about? Man, I should have prepared for this. Whoops. How about we go across the planar existence to news domain and talk about some news. News in gaming. Some news happened. Scott, there are NPDs in here. I'm letting you know now so that when we get to them at the end, you will be ready.
All right. They're open
Okay.
and they're closed.
Okay, great. Thank you. Atari is making an Atari box. And that's the new that's the news segment. I believe it is called the Atari box.
It is.
And it's I don't know, it's kind of slick looking. It looks Atari adjacent, you know, it's kind of got the hold or like the lining plastic top and the wood grain finish on the front. HDMI port. And the idea is like something similar to like the NES Mini or the NES Classic or the Super Nintendo Classic. It's got an HDMI port. I don't know what Atari games are going to be on it. It looks like they haven't announced.
I thought they mentioned that they'll play modern games as well.
I think it might. So, I think like they haven't like unveiled a lot yet. Here's the quote from Atari, I guess from their press release. As you can guess, those ports suggest modern internal specs. We know you're hungry for more details on specs, games, pricing, timing. We're not teasing you intentionally. We want to get this right, and we've opted to share things step by step as we bring this to life, to listen closely to the Atari community feedback as we do so. So, their last console was apparently the Atari Jaguar, which is a 64-bit console, and that was a long time ago. But yeah, it looks like that is all we know about it right now. But I don't know, it's interesting, right? Like, I didn't think that the NES Classic would set a precedent for, like, because I could totally see Sega putting out, like, a Genesis Classic or something like that, right? I didn't think it would set a precedent for it, for anyone to make more mini console-like things. The Atari box has an HDMI port, 4 USB ports, and an SD card slot, which means maybe you'll be able to put games on an SD card and put them in there as well. So, but if it is like modern to some extent and can run like maybe modern indie games and has like a storefront or something, that would be interesting. But obviously, Atari hasn't made any kind of hardware in a long time since the crash in the early 1980s. So it's just an odd move. They teased this a little while ago that they were making something. This is kind of like the unveil of it. But I don't know. It's just like I don't have like a formulated opinion about it because it throws me off so much.
Right.
But I'm both like excited because it is an interesting idea, and I think there's definitely like a market for mini consoles and classic consoles. Obviously, Nintendo's proven that, but I didn't expect anyone outside of Nintendo to really kind of step up and do that. And that does open the door. Like if Sony put out like a PS1 mini console, that'd be great. Like I think there would be tons of great games to put on that. If Sega put out a Master System mini console or a Sega CD mini console or something like that, that would also be great. I think there's definitely a market for these, and I think as both the idea of classic consoles and whatnot, like or the idea of collectible little miniature versions of the console, that could be cool. And Nabashin's adding this story about Nintendo trademarking the N64 Mini, or they trademarked the N64 controller, I think it was, or just the console in general. George and we like opted not to add it just because we didn't know if like it might be too early to say on that, but that could imply that Nintendo's looking into the idea of making an N64 Mini as well to kind of coincide with this. I don't know. It's again, I've said I don't know numerous times here, and I really don't. I don't have a hard feeling about this, but I don't think this is a bad thing. It's just odd. Would you buy an Atari Mini console, either of you?
No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to understand, I would never buy the Nintendo ones either.
Yeah, fair enough. I've no nostalgia for Atari, right? That was absolutely before my time. It might be it's before your time too, no option, right? So like, it's odd, but it's funny because the only person I know that is like a big fan of Atari because like they grew up with them around is Caleb Scythalmal, host of Bonus Points, and he's much younger than all of us. But he was exposed to that. He had a 2600 and a 5200 when he was growing up. So like I think there's definitely a market for there. It's just like a much smaller one.
Sure, but like the only like criticism about it really is just that those games are primitive for today's standard, or even for like Nintendo standards to a certain point.
Yeah,
'Cause it's like you think like Adventure on the Atari, like it's just a box like going around like different rooms, and like you can't really like figure out that game without like having like a manual. So it's just like one of those things where, stuff that we more or less take for granted today.
For sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Pong, whatever, Adventure, like you mentioned, very important games, definitely led to it. But you think like 1981 or the early 80s, 79, like when these kind of consoles were coming out, to 86 when the NES came out in North America, it's like it's a big jump. Like Super Mario Brothers was big. So it's very different, much more complex, right? So like the primitive to complex comparison I think is valid too. And like even arcade games at the time were a lot more complex. We'll see. I'm curious what Atari's going to do with it. In little kind of date news, a lot of character related announcements here. Now that I kind of notice it, Doomfist has an official date for Overwatch. I just want to kind of throw it out there. It is the 27th, so this coming Friday, I believe. Right? It's 5 days from now, Wednesday maybe. But I believe he's launching everywhere at the same time, which they haven't done with an Overwatch character before. Yes, it's saying here in the story. So Doomfist is obviously, you can play him right now, the new Overwatch character, on the playtest server on PC. Typically, they just roll him out on PC, and then they roll him out the following week to Xbox One and PS4, but now he has kind of like a firm date for everything, which is kind of cool. The other two new characters that they added, or three new characters that they added, they kind of just threw them out there, and they were just available at some point, but this is more organized, which is cool. In other character news, Piccolo and Krillin coming to Dragon Ball FighterZ. Game still looks very good. I didn't watch the Piccolo or Krillin gameplay at all, but
they just have screenshots out now.
Okay, cool. I watched the Trunks trailer. Man, that game might be something. Nabashin.
It's gonna be one of the big ones for me.
Yeah, I might buy a Dragon Ball fighting game for the first time in like 10 years. Which, I'm not good at Arc System Works games, but just like honestly, their style speaks for themselves. And also in Arc System Works news, they announced like a crossover game, which is Blaze Blue, Persona 4 Arena, Rooster Teeth's Anime Ruby Show, and one other thing, right?
Yeah.
That I didn't.
But
recognize.
it's supposed to be more than just that. It's more than just those 4.
Okay, so it is like a big crossover game.
Yeah, I believe.
Okay, that's cool. And that's coming out in 2018. I guess they announced that at Evo, right?
Yes.
So a few other Evo. Was Geese Howard announced in Evo as well?
Yes, he was.
And that's a new Tekken 7 character. I don't know who Geese Howard is, but
He's the big bad in the King of Fighter games.
oh, okay. So another kind of
from
crossover.
Fatal Fury actually, but whatever. Fatal Fury, then King of Fighters, and now he's in Tekken 7.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people really like King of Fighters. So
Yeah, so they had Akuma, they had Geese Howard, and have Haichi. So that's a pretty big, cool.
yeah, when I was adding the news this week, I was actually like thinking, like just out loud in my head of like, holy shit, Cloud Strife was in Super Smash Brothers, and I just like had that thought again, and I'm still amazed by that. I just wanted to throw that out there, totally an aside.
Did you get your amiibo?
No, I didn't. Is the Cloud one out?
Yeah, it came out yesterday. Yes, because I got my Bayonetta.
So I saw you got your Bayonetta ones.
Yes.
Which is cool. You got both of them, right? So, yeah, I need to get the Cloud amiibo if I can find it. Just the regular one. I don't need the other emo Cloud one. But yeah, that's cool. Like I'm all for crossover in fighting games. I think that's like the next big thing for fighting games. So, and the last kind of big news story before we get into MPDs I have here is Telltale made a bunch of announcements this week. Did they just like announce this on Twitter just before San Diego Comic-Con started?
Well, sort of. Like they had a video out on their YouTube and just put it out there.
Okay. So 3 new Telltale series were announced. Batman is getting a second season. That actually starts next month. Has a subtitle as well. I don't remember what it's called.
The Enemy Within?
Yes. It seems like it's probably going to be Joker focused, at least going off the kind of promotional material for the first episode, which I'm excited about. I'm curious where you're at with the Batman Telltale. Obviously, 'cause I know you were on the kind of downside of it.
Yeah, I'm honestly probably going to skip that one. Honestly, that one kind of burnt me out on it. But like, there is something on this list though that I think I will jump into.
Yeah, they also announced the 4th season for Telltale's The Walking Dead, which they said would be the final season. And most importantly, The Wolf Among Us Season 2 was announced, starting in 2018, which is the most exciting announcement from this.
It's just funny too because it's like literally like the day before it was just like, no, we're not doing this. So like give up hope, and like Rogers just put it out. Oh god, I should look at this tweet. Hold on, real fast.
Yeah, it's been literally 3 years since The Wolf Among Us Season 1. I remember in 2014, like when we did the big spoiler cast for it. Very exciting. Like I took the screenshot and I sent it to Jacob and Jarrett, and they're like, time to get the family back together. It's going down. So yeah, that is nothing other than like a title. So no kind of tease like with the Batman one, which again is starting very soon.
All right, so Game Informer put out a report. Telltale's The Wolf Among Us and Tales of the Borderlands won't be seen in future seasons anytime soon. And then Roger put out, Roger Corney, Rod Former out there.
From the show.
Hey everybody, remember when I said life is meaningless after a new new Splinter Cell wasn't announced? Well, life is now an endless abyss. So,
but they made it happen again. I would honestly like to see another Tales from the Borderlands series as well, because I like that quite a bit. And they left it open for a sequel.
Yeah, but after they wrap up in a way.
They did totally wrap up that story, but they end it on, I don't want to say like a cliffhanger, but like a kind of a little bit of mystery at the end. Not to the same level that Wolf Among Us ends, where it's like, oh my god, what's happening?
I legit have to play that game again because like
yeah,
I know I kind of remember it, but I kind of don't remember it at the same time. So like I have to.
We gotta go back.
My memory. Yeah.
Let's do it. I'll play through it again and see what's going on.
Get it on PS4 because I have to get my saves on that so to transfer over.
Yeah, that game is so good. I think I played it on PC. I might have to figure out what the situation for that is. I'm excited for Batman. I honestly really liked that first Batman season. The first episode's coming out on August 8th. It is not coming to PS3, or 360 unlike the first season, so people are hopeful that maybe the game will run moderately well. I wouldn't hold my breath, but we'll see.
Does that seem a little too fast? Even like for like
seems
Walking
crazy
Dead,
fast.
yeah, like even for Walking Dead standard, like I think that came out like a little too soon.
Yeah, I mean, like to think like Walking Dead just finished like last month in June or something, I think, or May at
Something
the latest.
Like that.
And I think the other Walking Dead season 4 is also 2018. I think that will
Yes.
actually be after Wolf Among Us. Yeah, it is kind of crazy fast. Like it feels like the first Batman season just ended because that was like what, October, November.
Yeah, that was the one they consistently put out every month. So like that had to been like November.
Yeah, they've probably been working on this since before they even finished that first one. So I'm not surprised that they're making another one. It is just very soon. Man, Wolf Among Us, man. We've been like it's been so long that I totally forgot, but that has not tempered my excitement at all. I'm still very excited for more Wolf Among Us. So I'm excited. Good on Telltale for kind of getting that announcement out there. All right, Scott,
NPDs.
you want to take me on a journey through the best-selling video games in North America? The top 10, not that they have the top 20 now, but just the top 10 for the month of June 2017. I don't know if you're ready, Scott. I hope so.
All right, this is the top 20 for consoles and PC because I was looking at it and I was like, this is a lot of different lists.
Yeah, they give it. There's a lot of lists, and we'll kind of loop back around to that. But they give it the
This
top
is
20
new.
now. We just need the top 10.
All right, so at number 10, Forza Horizon 3.
Wait,
At number 9,
what list are you looking at?
NBA 2K17.
Oh, I get it.
At number 8, Overwatch. At number 7, Mario Kart 8. At number 6, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. At number 5 is ARMS. Number 4 is the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. At 3 is
Garbage?
Horizon Zero Dawn. At number 2 is Injustice 2. Fitting. And at number 1 is Tekken 7. I'm disappointed now.
All right, just a little correction segment real quick. Number 10 was Horizon Zero Dawn, and number 3 was Grand Theft Auto 5, Scott's 2 favorite games of all time.
Well, you see, I don't actually dislike Horizon
Yeah, I know.
Zero Dawn. I intentionally skipped it
Yeah.
earlier so I could do that.
Okay. I respect that. So ARMS is high, right? That's high for that game.
Seems like it from our point of view.
Yeah.
Eh?
And number 5. So I believe ARMS, Mario Kart 8, and Overwatch are all not including digital sales on those. So
Are you still getting ARMS?
I want to play ARMS. At this point, like, because in my head it kind of boiled down to it was either ARMS or Splatoon because of my budget change recently. And I think I'd rather get Splatoon. But I still really like ARMS. Like I know a lot of people have problems with it. I still really want to play ARMS.
I had just an episode of the G Club with Aaron talking about ARMS for like an hour and 30 minutes.
Does he like it or does he just?
Oh, he fucking loves ARMS, man.
That's awesome. That's good. That brings me some joy. So hardware wise, I believe PS4 was at the top slot, which overtaking Switch now. I believe Switch was at the top in May, still. And then there's the 1 terabyte hard drive gold slim PS4, which is new.
Mm-hmm.
It's also like I'm looking at a picture in this article that we have up here from VG247. It's like a gaudy looking PS4. I don't know if I would want to own like a bright gold PS4. It just like it's bright.
Nope, don't want.
Yeah. MPD said Switch is still doing well though. which is not surprising. Obviously, I still can't find one. I just like every time I go to Best Buy now to get something, I look around just to see if they have Switches available, which they do not. But let me see other stuff worth noting. You can top PS like there's new specific software for each console now, which is kind of cool. And then the best-selling games to date of 2017, which I think is more important. Top 5 in that is Horizon, starting from the bottom up. Horizon, Grand Theft Auto, For Honor, Breath of the Wild, and Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, which it looks like Breath of the Wild overtook For Honor on the best-selling of 2017 so far.
It did.
So, I believe that was at number 2 before. Still, like, I understand that. I'm not saying Wildlands is a bad game or anything. I just don't see anyone playing it. So it just confuses me how well that game sold.
Multi-platform, I did.
Yeah, I guess. But that's cool. Horizon, seeing Horizon and Zelda both in the top 10 there. And Resident Evil 7 is really rad because, again, big exclusives and really good games as well. You still trying to play Horizon option?
I think that ship is sell.
Yeah. I think nothing super interesting. Sometimes we get like some good numbers from MPDs, but nothing super interesting from this month's. But yeah, shout out to Tekken 7 and Justice 2, man. Fighting games back. Never say they left because they are back. How about we take a peek into the mail sack? How's that sound?
Sounds pretty good.
We have a voicemail. We have a couple of tweets, but we have a voicemail that I want to get to first. From Silver PR. Very excited about. It is 7 megabytes. I don't know what that converts to in length, but we are going to fucking find out. Shout out to at Silver PR on Twitter. We haven't heard from him in a while, but
He's probably talk a lot about Evo.
yeah, I bet. He's the fighting game guy. I wonder if he's played Injustice. The only thing he's been tweeting about me, he tweeted at us today. IGN reviewed the Death Note movie. They said it added a lot of teen melodrama to Death Note, and I'm like, sounds really good to me. I don't know what you guys are complaining about. Hopefully this voicemail will load for me.
Shout out to Bayonetta for being the Evo champ, by the way.
Really?
Yes. On Disney XD.
In what context? Like, what do you mean Evo champ? Is that a person?
Yeah,
Or-
a person who played as Bayonetta. is
In
the
Smash
Evo-
Brothers?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes.
Bayonetta is like, isn't she like kind of broken in that game?
More or less.
All right. I might have to pull this up somewhere else. Because it is not. It's just not loading. All right, give me 1 second. Go to the fucking website.
Kaylee, now that you're in the chat, just let you know I'm after Futaba. I got the Guardian trophy, and working on those soft drinks.
What's
So,
the trophy you're most worried about?
It's the twins, man.
It's the twins, really?
Yeah, because not worry, but like I have to be a certain level to be able to beat them. So that's time. That's time. That's time that she can like get ahead of me. I don't want that.
I can't live with that. I mean, I feel like if you get the one kind of ultimate persona, you'll be all right. I believe in you, Nobisha. You got a head start. God knows you blew through that game way faster than I did.
Yeah.
Ah, God damn it. All right, let me try doing this. Sorry about this. This is going to get cut out of the audio version. Just 'cause
Oh, for sure.
Can I open this in something else? Try it this way. There we go. Now it's loading. Shout out to the chat. What's up, guys? Nicole's in there. Kaylee's in there. Cameron's in there. Got 6 people watching right now. Y'all are too sweet. Too sweet me. That's a wrestling thing, right?
Yes.
Fucking John and Tyler keep doing that to each other, and they keep leaving me out, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. 7 minutes and 26 seconds. Strap in, boys.
What up, guys? So happy I'm here. Everybody's doing all good and well. Yeah, back again. Hello, Silver. One of his voicemail shenanigans. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been like around 2 months or so. So yeah, I mean, a lot of things happening in my life right now, and some life-changing things happening in the 2 or 3 months or so.
You're moving to
And
Maryland?
I'm reading right now. My life is a blur.
Just kidding.
And you know, there's some things that's gonna happen or may happen, and they're gonna be life changing for me, and they may, or either make me happy or make me depressed. So I don't want to get straight to those things. I mean, if I do, I will do it throughout Twitter. So I don't want to be a drag. But regardless, how's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope I will do well. But we're not here about talking about my life, even though I always kind of pour out the first minute about this voicemail about that. So I digress. Let's go straight to video games. What I've been doing with this past couple months, I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5.
Nice.
Been quite a trip for me. My nephew lent it to me, and I must say that I did love every minute of it. I was pretty much addicted to the game, playing like every night. I was getting like 5 and 4 hour sleep sessions to get to work because I was so fucking addicted to that game. I see where the game kind of caught off for Hideo Kojima and Konami when it comes to the production, because it feels like there's a big black hole of a plot. Especially what the hell, Quiet. I mean, you know, not getting into spoilers, what ends up being about Quiet? I mean, the only thing that can imagine myself is that she became Sniper Wolf's mom in the future. I don't know. What the hell? It's just
Not everything has to be a tie-in, Silver PR.
you know,
I was like, what?
that woman, and it's kind of weird. The story at the end gets kind of weird.
Not all snipers give birth to
You
more
know,
snipers.
to get into spoiler territory. I mean, it was
sorry,
obviously that flying kid was Psycho Mantis, being, you know, a young kid.
I want to believe he
And
was just
also
some other
the blonde
dude.
kid. I mean,
Some flying kid.
everybody knew that was Liquid, right? It was dumb if it wasn't.
It was solid. Twist.
Just me pouring out my feelings about it. I mean, the game gets more fun once you start getting more GMP, and you get a lot of the items like the stealth, camouflage items and whatnot, and you just start messing around with the game and his mechanics. It's quite fun. But I see that the game had too many items to deal with, and I don't know. At some point, it gets just overwhelming. But it didn't got overwhelming for me, and I really did enjoy every second of it.
She's the same shit
Other
every
thing
mission.
that I was doing, other than not playing Overwatch for over a month because I didn't have PlayStation Plus on June. I had a really economical black hole in June, and I couldn't even renew my subscription. I did renew my subscription on July, and I did got the PlayStation Plus games for that month, and Until Dawn was one of those. I played that game with so much enjoyment
Good.
for the past 2 weeks. Oh my god. I remember you guys talking about it, and you know, I don't recall hearing spoilers about, but I do heard about one element of the supernatural that was involved in that story. Not to get into spoiler territory, because I know although that game has been like 2 years,
Something about dingoes,
it's still
I
a
think.
game that you shouldn't even spoil for the people. You should let people experience that game and discover the horror from it. So, yeah.
So glad you're enjoying that, Silver.
And I must say that, you know, my first playthrough, one of the characters died, Matt. He got the hook on the mouth. Oh,
Oof,
that was bad.
that's a rough
Oh
one.
yeah.
But other than that, all the other characters survive, and I'm kind of surprised because the game gives you quite a swerve at some points, and you think some characters died, and actually they didn't die, but they could die afterwards, and that's the fun part. And it's a game like those ones that you just play one time and you're out. Because you know the whole story now, so what is the point? But I feel that I've been playing the game like the second or third time right now, and I feel like I'm doing like a
movie director kind of thing. They're trying to manipulate the story to the point to see, okay, let's see what happens if I choose this
That's a
or
good
do
way to
that.
put it too.
I'm enjoying it like almost every night. I play for 1 hour or two, and just to to finish the story and see what things revolve around the decisions or actions. Quite a great game. Quite a great game. I hope if they do a second game about it, not exactly with this set of characters, but the premise of horror theme. I think they can pull it off and do it great again. Uh, like I said, I haven't played Overwatch that much because I missed like the one three fourths of the anniversary event because, like I said in the beginning,
I missed
getting
all
that
of it,
PlayStation
so.
Plus for the whole month of June, and that quite sucked. But I'm going back again, just like Alex, and trying to play. So if I see Alex online, I'll try to hook up with him.
Hit me up.
Because it's back again to the train. So maybe I'll get back to the train again. Yeah, I think there's nothing more. I started playing Life is Strange, but I got like the first 2 episodes, so I don't want to get into that. Just want to say that it's a way better Telltale game than the Telltale games have been in quite a while, and looking forward for the second season of Batman. Can we contemplate on the fact that Batman, the Telltale series game, in less than a year or around 1 year, they got a second season running. That doesn't happen that often with Telltale. I'm baffled, and I'm looking forward for the second season because I wanted it more, and thank God they're giving us more. So,
I'm with you.
but yeah, that's pretty much about me. I'm not gonna go through tangents and whatnot. Evil happened. It was awesome. Street Fighter V is quite underwhelming. Doesn't have an arcade mode. Fuck all those people that are starting to say Super Street Fighter V. If there's gonna be a Super Street Fighter V, guys, it's gonna be in December announced, and hopefully it's an update. But considering how fucking greedy Capcom is, they're just gonna put $60 more out of your pockets, and for that, I'll say fuck them. I will not buy it. So, without further ado, this is how I end. Have a fun one. Have a happy Saturday, Sunday. I don't know when you guys are gonna be recording this. Silver signing out.
Bye, buddy. Thank you, Silver. Very glad that he's enjoying Until Dawn. God, it's a really good game. Shit, man. I liked. I'll say like going through and getting the collectibles in my second playthrough. I liked kind of like the stuff you learned about the story in that game. As an aside, I think that the world that they set up there is pretty cool. It's a cool horror movie, teen horror movie world at the very least. Let me see. Anything else I want to comment on? Yeah. So I'm so bummed that like about Street Fighter V. I hope there is not a Super Street Fighter V because that was kind of like the whole point. Like there was not going to be another Street Fighter, or Super Street Fighter V. Let's take a look at the tweets. Remember, you can tweet your questions at IrrationalPod with the hashtag IPQ. We'll talk about them on the show. We only had two. One was from Jake Nichols, relevant to news that happened this week. Best Linkin Park song. I don't know if you guys have an opinion on this.
I do. I just have to think about it.
Yeah. For me, because I had talked to a friend about this earlier this week, probably my favorite Linkin Park song is Waiting for the End, which is off their fourth album, which most like original Linkin Park fans probably don't like. I feel like everything after Minutes to Midnight most people don't like. But the Thousand Suns album I think is really great, and Waiting for the End is in particular quite good. But yeah, there's a passing of Chester, the lead singer of Linkin Park, committed suicide this week, which was very, very tragic news. Thought goes out to his family and everything. Definitely a very formulative band for me. When I was younger, contributed to me getting into hip hop as much as I did. Roger Picorni actually has a really great Roger Former show about Linkin Park and U2. That you should check out, you should watch, especially considering this week's news. and go back and listen to their music. I've not listened to their most recent album, but they've got at least 4 bangers of albums, in my humble opinion. So, what you got, Nabishin?
It's probably Breaking the Habit, I would think.
Okay, that's a really good one. So,
Like
Yeah.
their first 2 albums, like that, because that was like before I was actually into like. All right, I've never really actually been into music, I should say, per se. But like that was like my generation as far as like when they first came out, like that's what everyone was listening to. Everyone was into it. Back when I used to make AMVs, every song was a fucking Linkin Park song.
Yep.
Like every single one, and like I made 2 of them myself, so I can't criticize that either. But like, yeah, they were great. They were something that at my time of growing up in high school, even like thinking a little bit in middle school as well. Like, yeah, that I can't even think about it, how much they influence a lot of us.
yeah, definitely. And again, like for me, and I know a lot of people as well, kind of like gateway into hip hop, especially like their was it Reanimation? I think is their album with Jay-Z, like the mashup album that they did.
I think so.
Very, very cool. Just like something that there's still not really anything like that out there now. So yeah, they did a lot of cool stuff. I don't know if you have anything to add here, Scott. I don't know if you ever listened to Linkin Park, Scott.
For a little bit, but nope. At this point, I'm too far removed.
Okay. And the other one was from Cameron Abbott at Unsexiest Comedy. Oh, Jake is at Jake R. Nichols on Twitter. And that's Nichols. Cameron Abbott at Unsexiest Comedy says, so Alex, I plan on playing on both PC and PS4 with Destiny. Why not both with me? And here's the deal. If I get Destiny on 2 platforms, I'm going to get it on PS4 and Xbox One. Not on PS4 and PC. I could always just get it on PC and Xbox One, but then I feel like I've fucked up. So, fuck you, Cameron. He said Game of Thrones was bad in the chat earlier. I didn't want to say it on the show. He's wrong, and he upset me. And I want him to know that he hurt me on the inside.
Nah, I agree with him.
Never even watched it, Scott. That's it. That's the show.
I mean, I have. I'm just not gonna watch all of it.
Did you watch Game of Thrones, Scott? You want to talk about it?
Like the first 6 episodes,
Okay.
and then I said no.
All right, that's fair.
You don't want to do something with Jacob or something?
About Game of Thrones? I literally thought about it.
I mean, like, just talk about the episode. A lot of people are doing it.
I was
like,
thinking about doing a part of Sunday Chats that was a Game of Thrones write-up, because it is every Sunday. But, like, I watched Game of Thrones so late as is. You know what? That's a good idea. I will talk to Jacob Bryan about it. If we do some on YouTube,
yeah,
youtube.com.
that's what I was thinking about. Is just do that. Don't have to worry about exploring or anything.
Game of Thrones sins. I don't know if he's doing the recaps for Variety or anything. I'll have to ask him about it. We'll see. I don't know if he can. So it might be a conflict of interest for him, but
Sure.
We'll see. If he can, maybe there'll be a Game of Thrones thing. All right, let's wrap up the show with what we got at the end here, which is bets. So Nabishin, you were a man down on your team. So I thought of an idea. Here's an idea for you, Nabishin. You could enlist someone from the chat to be your second better. So they're watching live.
Is NATO in there?
NATO is not in the chat right now.
He missed out too.
He did. He could have doubled down on Nate. But you got a few people. You got 4 people in the chat right now. Cameron, myself, Kaylee Woomer, and Nicole. So you could enlist somebody from the chat to be.
I'll get Nicole on this one.
Okay. So in place of Tony, we'll have Nicole. I hope she's paying attention. So I thought of a good bet for this week. I think it's pretty good. I don't know if you looked already in option, but I just typed it up. Pyre comes out this week's bet. I should say Pyre comes out on PS4 and PC next week, which is cool. I'm excited. New Super Giant Games game. I've played it at a couple events, and I think it's great. How long in minutes? So, like, if it's above an hour, like 63 minutes or whatever. How long in minutes will the total length of the soundtrack of Pyre be?
The entire soundtrack?
The entire soundtrack. Now,
Are you sure that's not up right now?
It might be, but I don't think any of us know about it. So
No, I don't know. Okay.
So, I think. So for reference, I'm gonna look up the Bastion soundtrack, just so you all have a reference of. It's a much shorter game than I think Pyre will be, but the idea is similar. And Bastion is obviously Supergiant Games' first game. God damn it! Try again. I don't even know if I search Bastion on iTunes, if it will be something that, if like some weird thing comes up, some weird movie called Bastion. I'll just look it up on YouTube. But that is the bet. So how long in minutes, total length of the Pyre soundtrack?
Transistor's an hour and 12 minutes.
Okay, I think Bastion's around the same length. Yeah, it looks like it. So I'm expecting, just to give a guideline here, maybe a little bit more than an hour, maybe a little bit less.
That's just a multiplayer game, right? Pyre? Does it have a campaign?
Pyre has.
Well, you see, that's great
to it, yeah.
because I just doubled down on something stupid, and it turns out that it's a reasonable guess.
It is has a single player campaign as well.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready. Go ahead and type it in there. All right, so Scott said an hour and 28 minutes, so that's what? Some amount of minutes. That's 80 to 88 minutes. Nabishin, you said 90 or 58 minutes. I said 93 minutes. And Nicole, who's betting in place for Tony, let's see what she said in our live chat.
Hour
45 minutes. Getting the high end, so that is 105 minutes. All right, so again, the bets, just go over one more time. Pyre, which comes out next week. How long will the total length of the soundtrack of Pyre be? I said 93 minutes. Scott said 88 minutes. Nalbshin said 58 minutes. And Nicole, who's betting in place for Tony, was 105 minutes. Let's go back to last week's bet. What will win in Splatoon 2's Splatfest, cake or ice cream? Scott and I bet cake. Tony and Nalbshin bet ice cream. It was ice cream, which we found out on Sunday. So that is 2 points awarded to Team BBC. Bringing the total points for Team BBC to 34 points.
Oh, fuck.
And Team Flot, rockin' steady, still at a solid 29 points. Woo! Woo. That's it. That's it for bets. That's all I got. How you guys feeling? I feel like this was a shorter show, but it absolutely was not. Thank you everybody for listening. Go tweet Tony at Tony Horvath and tell him that he missed a good show, because he did, wherever he is, whatever he's doing. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can do so in a variety of ways. You can send us an email, mailsack@irrationalpassions.com. You can leave us a voicemail like Silver PR did. 404-590-1337 is the phone number you can call. Standard long distance fees do apply. And you can tweet your questions at IrrationalPod with the hashtag IPQ. You can follow each of us on Twitter. It's the best way to get a hold of any of us individually. I am at Alfighter27, which spells just like it sounds. Scott is at WhatTechuz. Nabishin is at NABESHIN186, Nabishin186. And our guest George is at Jurge Cruz, or it's what? J. Cruz Alvarez at 26. God, I should know his Twitter handle. Yeah, J. Cruz Alvarez, 26. If you want to follow the show on Twitter, you can follow it at IrrationalPod. Typically, George handles the Twitter now. He does a really good job with it, so you should follow that. Some other stuff, rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Helps us out a lot. If you haven't rated us in a while, or if you haven't just taken a minute go to iTunes, give us a rating or write a review there. It actually does bring us more forward when people search for video game podcasts and stuff like that. So it can spread the word on the show, which we would appreciate a lot. Go to VGEvo.com. Check out the podcast network there that we are part of. Monthly Passions podcast. If you don't tune into that, you should. And more new show coming soon, very soon. Stay tuned. We're streaming weekly. Well, we're not streaming weekly. I don't know why it still says that. I wanted to do a Destiny stream this week. I did not get to it because I got to the beta later than I wanted to. I apologize. I still want to stream some Destiny. So we stream over at twitch.tv/IrrationalPassions. So if you want to tune in there, follow there. Hopefully I will be doing some Destiny 2 beta stuff this week or weekend. And go to youtube.com/IrrationalPassions. I've got some new stuff I think I'm ready to put up there. Some Let's Plays that Brant and I did. So hopefully those will be going up soon. If you like the show, tell your friends about it. Word of mouth is the best way to spread the love. And for everything else, Irrational Passions, as well as stuff that George writes on the website, irrationalpassions.com is where you want to go. That's it. I did a little bit out of order there. Apologize, but let's wrap this up. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Nobshin, for joining me, as always, guys. I love you guys. Winky face. Thank you to Danny Wiesner for our opening music of Two Player Co-op and our closing music of The World Is Saved. And thank you, everyone who watched live. Thank you to George for hanging out for the time that he did. Sorry he couldn't be here for the whole show. That's everything. That's all I got. Tired. I'm hungry. I want pizza. I think I want some pizza. Should I get pizza tonight, guys?
You probably shouldn't get pizza.
But I will.
Nah, dude, go with the hoagie.
Go with hoagie. I can get into. Maybe I'll get a sandwich. That's all I got. Thank you, everyone, so much. Again, can't thank the listeners enough of this show. Next week, maybe we will actually have Jeff Chorney on this show. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let me know, Novashin.
I got you.
And then we might be talking about Xbox stuff. So, same stuff that we applied last week. But that's it. That's it. I'm ending it. I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games. Stay rational. We will talk to you all next week. I just got a text message that says you should get pizza. Titles. Scott. Tony's not here. We need you.
All right, titles. Never go full Horvath. I disagree. I gotta get more protein. I forget how we said that one.
Ethan.
Eat all the sausage all the time. Crash Baby Coot. Oh, I get it.
That's a good bit.
Games are better with dodge roll. Not all snipers give birth to snipers. I feel like this was a shorter show, but it wasn't.
I like Crash Baby Coot, and games are better with dodge roll.
I like the sniper one. Or dodge roll.
Yeah, I'm going with dodge roll.
Okay, dodge roll it is. D2 want to do the title and number? I can do the number, actually, because I did the title last week.
I'll do the title.
You are listening to Irrational Passions Podcast, episode 337.
Games are better with dodge roll.
If you can dodge a roll, you can dodge a ball.
If you can dodge a roll. Thank you, video viewers. You guys can stop recording now. And I will see